of the Mesozoic, starring Craig Smith, Donald Von Griffin, Karen Torres. Is that Torres or Torres?
Torres.
With an S?
Hmm?
Torres. Okay.
Correct.
Leslie Denneberger. Lloyd Montgomery. Me, the GM, Brandon Blunt. Oh, so... Calm down, Lloyd. Calm down. It's not all about you. And me, the GM, Brandon Blackmore. I'm in a good mood. Oh, tonight's game brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Because when you think vodka, you think Texas.
Now we know why.
But it's good vodka. Where's my pointy thing?
No. If I had a handle of Tito's next to me, I'd be in a good mood too.
Exactly.
No, I'm in a good mood because I'm playing a game with my friends. That's why I'm in a good mood.
Finally,
Tito's flavored vodka. They have vodka flavored vodka, and that's it.
That's
all you need.
what it's supposed to be, right? That's it.
We all infused vodkas and infused whatevers.
Oh.
Flavored.
I don't know. If I wanted flavors, I'd put flavors into it. Yeah. For example, putting spicy hot V8, lime juice, and ginger ale into it, for example.
Cool.
Wow.
Oh, there was
this
little Russian cafe on Pearl Street Mall in Boulder. Had like 42 flavors of infused vodka.
Huh. All right. Last week on Pirates of the Mesozoic, the Smith Gang, which is you guys. That's what the townspeople have taken to calling you, because you guys hang out at the smithy. As the innkeeper staff cleaned up the mess from the battle, and Isco treated the gang's wounds, you guys noticed something strange, that the dead dinosaurs, which had been flooding into the inn and been blown away by enormous machine guns that came out of the ceiling and walls and floor, were not dinosaurs at all. The dead bodies are actually horseflies, each about the size of a loaf of bread. That's a big horsefly.
Ew.
Yeah. Oh, this is stuff that Lloyd missed. So
Yes.
let me finish my recap, Lloyd, and if you have questions, other people can answer it.
Okay.
More than that, the horseflies, the dead horseflies, the ones that are intact enough to tell, have a brain-like growth where their eyes should be on the horsefly. A brain-like growth. Michael does a quick dissection and determines that the insects have been taken over by some kind of fungal parasite.
To which my response was mold. Why did it have to be mold?
Wait, is mold a fungus? Because this is definitely a fungus.
Oh, yeah. Fungus and mold is the same thing.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I did not know that mold was a fungus.
Yeah.
I thought there were subtle but distinct differences. All right. Okay, so while you guys are hanging out, being creeped out by that, a group of people from a futuristic frontier settlement nearby, which is called Northwood's Rest, named after Captain Northwood, who was the leader of the expedition who died when their ship crashed. They take refuge in the inn and ask the gang for help. A band of cyborgs, exclaims Captain Harrows, has been attacking the settlement's livestock. What?
I said kick him.
Cyborgs. He said it twice to make sure we all heard.
Of course you did.
I was also a few years.
Okay, the gang spent the night. Isco partook of the available companionship for the evening, but everybody else just, had dinner and drinks and went to bed. Speaking of which,
they charged us time.
Yes, when they were asking how would they pay, Vlad, the innkeeper, explained that their price is very reasonable, very reasonable. Drinks 14, dinner and drinks 72. Stay the night includes dinner and drinks 175. And they're like, 175 what? And he's like, minutes. we are not so fancy for it to be hours. No, just minutes. But it's good deal. Good, friendly atmosphere, good food, good drink.
Energy
And so,
Energy vampires.
Just like it when you call them out.
I'm more inclined to think time vampires.
Yeah.
No, I am more inclined to think a temporal quantum generation system
Because they're machines.
that powers a nanobotic environmental simulator.
Should I tell them I'm immortal?
Yeah, they might. But no, they might charge you.
They might charge you double.
If they notice, they don't say anything.
Okay.
However, Captain Harrows did make the observation that these minutes come off the end of your life, right?
Right. Well, I mean, no, you asked.
Those are
You
the
asked. No, wait. Let me clarify. Captain Harrows asked Vlad. So wait, those minutes come off the end, right? And Vlad like scoffed and it's like, how could it come off beginning? How would that even work?
Right. And so Captain Harrows figures that the ones at the end, those are the sucky minutes anyway, right?
Pretty much.
Because you're dying. You just get it over with.
So anyway, to my mild surprise, everybody went along with that. And had dinner and drinks and stayed the night.
Civilized vampires, they asked.
And among other things, Captain Harrows noticed that when people signed in, because in order to stay the night, you actually have to sign in, and it looks like a quill. It's like a big ostrich feather or whatever quill with the ink pot and everything. But that the quill pen, has the same relationship to a quill pen as this does to the wooden box in the Lassie TV show with the crank on the side and a little thing that you spin and call, Mabel at Mount Pilot. So it is, when you pick it up, it outputs enormous amounts of data to the house. Captain Harrows noticed that.
Incidental aside, the little thing you crank on the phone and the thing that spins inside it, that's a magneto.
Well, I know that.
Oh, I didn't realize. I just recently learned that device was actually called a magneto.
Fun fact, I don't know if it's still true, but when I was working for the Navy, for the Department of Defense on submarines, they had what was called voice-powered phones that essentially worked off this exact same technology. That, like, all the power on the sub could go out, but people here and here who were using one of these systems could still talk to each other. So I thought that was really crazy because this is like mid to late 1980s. So maybe
fun
different
fact,
now.
Brandon, we still use those because if you lose power, you have nothing. So they're still important to have those. And they're actually called sound-powered phones.
Sound-powered phones. Well, it's been 20 years,
actually,
man.
Not only that, but there are many different circuits because otherwise you have everybody talking in the same circuit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like a weapon circuit, a combat system circuit, and docking, maneuvering, a bunch of different circuits. That's still a thing.
It's still a thing. Crazy. But basically the same technology, essentially the same technology as in the Lassie TV show, which was set in, like, what, the 20s?
Right,
I mean,
right. But if you think about it, how often did it break down?
Only when a storm would come through and a tree would fall across the lines.
Right, which isn't going to happen on Point, we hope.
Not something that typically happens. Well, subs have other things that happen, but still.
Yeah. If something like that is happening, you're in bigger trouble than lack of communication.
Anyway, so the quill looks like a quill, but it is actually technology so advanced that it may as well be magic. And however, it is technology. Captain Harrows can hear it when it's talking to the house, and it's like he doesn't really have the background to understand most of what it's saying.
Encrypted data is the best I can describe it as.
Yeah, basically that's about it. But it is a hell of a lot of data. It is lots and lots and lots of data. Anyway, so.
Extremely high bandwidth, very many phase shifts.
Oh, and Captain Harrows also noticed after some observation, and I think he rolled really well for this because this is not something I would have given you for free.
Yeah, I think
that
I like
Vlad and the staff and some, but not all, of the accoutrements in the House of the Dragon are actually clouds of nanomachines. So.
Okay.
in case you care. All right then. Then the gang got in the land machine, and headed to the nearby settlement, Northwoods Rest.
And at this point, I'm going to spend 2 of the 3 points to take my power up.
Woohoo! Awesome! Good for you.
The other point will go to when I finish that light staff.
And you're going to
I'm
find the
assuming it's an
pieces to
ongoing project,
build that
right?
today.
Oh, no, it's not today. It's an ongoing project that Donald has been. I described to him what I wanted, and we're working on it.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're a Jedi Knight, you should be able to build that yourself, right? If you have the pieces.
Yeah, some of it, yeah, but I need his help on the level of his techno
Yeah.
expertise.
Well, anyway, my intention is for you to get the pieces today. You said you wanted to spend a point for it, so my intention is you'll get the pieces for that today.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
I mean, I'm not in the business of stymieing your needs. So,
Yeah.
you got to Northwoods Rest. Oh, and
yeah.
I'll share a cute little map.
And I, having studied Craig's healing, I built a antifungal ray,
That's
Yeah, that
that's
was
right,
the
you
other
did.
thing I was working on.
and so I actually have an anti-parasitic fungal blunderbuss.
Those things are usually pretty species specific, as I recall.
Well, he had lots of samples because
Now I dissected
the
one of the
House of the
buggers,
Dragon was like surrounded by dead horseflies.
and
So,
I dissected one of the buggers.
That's the one I rolled really well on.
yeah.
That's the
So,
one I rolled I started with a 10 on the dice.
so that's the actual settlement of Northwoods Rest, and then I'll show you like the local area. I had like a local area map. Where did I put that? Regional.
Internet, how I do love you.
Who do I know?
I said, Internet, how I do love you. When I came up here a couple of weeks ago, I just grabbed my laptop and like a couple of pairs of underwear and a couple of pairs of socks. So I'm woefully unprepared to do anything other than just hang out here on my computer. But I realized just a minute ago that I don't have any dice with me, so I just looked up and found random.org, a website that rolls dice for you.
I was gonna say I use brockjones.com/dice roller or die roller.
Oh, okay. Nope, random.org. Dice roller.
Okay.
I use
rolling
RPG Library Secure Dice, which is an online application that I wrote.
On me, I just like the feel of rolling dice. So
Well, if I knew where mine were, I might roll them, but I don't know where mine are. I packed them up before you were going to move, and now they're just.
I know where mine are, but I'd have to dig them up.
I know where mine are. They're in North Carolina.
Okay, just so to give you an impression. Okay, ignore the N. Ignore the compass rose. Okay, ignore that. That is not there. This is a road. It is a paved road, but it is paved with cobblestones. And there are big chunks of it missing periodically. But it is a road, and it has been there a very, very long time. Longer than the settlement. Here are these three little.
I am
What?
not seeing. I'm not sure why, but I am not seeing your pointer.
You don't see a pointer?
I do not.
Okay. Well, the road I'm talking about goes left to right on the screen, and it looks like a road.
As long as Lloyd sees it, I've already seen all this.
Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to say that for whatever reason I was not.
Oh,
All right.
I got it.
Bottom center, you see three little houses.
Yep.
That is actually the settlement. That's Northwoods Rest. That's where you guys went to rather. There is a forest on this map. It's up.
Yep.
However, there is a large area of fields. What do you call it? Valley, plains. There's a area of plains between this forest and the haunted forest. So if you were to go down on this map,
Mm-hmm.
you would hit the haunted forest, and there's an area of plains in between.
Okay.
You
What kind of
came.
forest is this forest? Is it a scary forest or is it?
This is just an ordinary forest. Just
how unique.
well, I mean, it seems ordinary.
Okay.
It's not like it's not locked in perpetual twilight like the haunted forest is.
And,
This is
it's not like prehistoric forest. There's actually real trees.
Yeah, yeah. It's mixed deciduous and conifers. It's a, you know, s- kind of anybody with this kind of background would
Okay.
see it as like a southern European forest, like
Okay.
South of France kind of forest, not like way south, but like south of France forest.
Okay.
Ruby.
Yeah, like Provençal or something.
Sure. You guys came from the
Where
left.
Beauty and the Beast took place.
Actually, no. You guys, how would this go? Because you guys came from that direction.
You said
This
the
is, but this is
hunter.
actually upside down. All right, you guys came from the left. From the House of the Dragon is to the left, and on foot it'd be like a half a day's walk. In the Landram, it's not long at all. So you get to the settlement, and at first they were afraid of you, and then the three local people
If
explain
it,
you're there to
if,
help.
yeah, if it took that long, I would offer the 3 people drinks out on the back deck while the machine drives itself.
We're talking like a 20-minute drive. So,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's
20 minutes.
only because you're not sure where you're going and you don't want to miss it.
No, the machine's looking.
Just-
Don't mind.
all right then. So you get there. Uh, they are glad to have you there. They don't have any things that are important because you guys know, but Lloyd doesn't know. The settlement, they don't have weapons. There's like not even they have knives, but that's because you're a human being. You gotta have what are you gonna cut your meat with if you don't have a knife? But as far as like guns, crossbows, bows, nothing. They don't have any like actual weapons. No swords.
How
even.
absurdly optimistic.
They think they are on an alien planet, which is, I guess, technically true, but it's not the alien planet they thought they were on. When they were landing, they hit some kind of freak ion storm. Their spaceship, their colony ship, broke up. And what you see here is probably not even 10% of the colonists that were supposed to come here. Most of them died. Pieces of the spaceship landed all over the place. These people's, their chunk of the spaceship had not umbrellas, parachutes and things. So what you see is their little village is made out of pieces of spaceship and cargo container and that kind of thing. It's very. You ever seen the movie Oblivion?
Yes.
It's like a space western. It's like that. Like one of the villagers that
It's like Firefly.
kinda. One of the villagers has a cowboy hat made out of aluminum foil, basically. So it's like that kind of thing.
No, if it were more like Firefly, everybody would have guns.
Well, yeah.
They don't have guns, not a one. However, what they do have are wind turbines and solar cells. Lots of them. Like apparently, one of the cargo containers that came with them had nothing but that in it. So they have
They lucked out then.
their power needs are set for until their population multiplies by 10 at least. So they're good on that. And they had plenty of livestock. Unfortunately, the orcs have come and have raided their livestock, carried away lots of it, and then killed the rest. And so that was the deal with that. Let's see, what else? What else am I missing? Let me go back to what I was.
And the orcs are supposedly the ones that sent the flies.
Yes, the orcs sent the. What do these people think they were? Gundarks. When they describe what attacked their flocks, they describe these kind of scaly gorilla-looking things called gundarks.
Okay.
However, what is left behind? Oh no, they don't have any weapons. There isn't anything left behind. Yeah, all they see are gundarks. Gundarks from sea to shining sea, and they came and they carried away a bunch of livestock and killed a bunch of livestock, and then that's it. However, when you guys examined the dead livestock, you found that it was the same injuries that you got from the horseflies, which to you looked like dinosaurs. Is this making sense?
Oh yeah, mass
Yeah.
hallucination.
All right.
Hallucinogenic fungus.
Oh, and also, Michael discovered that that it's infectious, that the people who've been attacked by the horseflies or even come in contact with them have been infected. So Isco goes and basically does his Bernie Healy thing to everybody.
Okay, good.
Except for one guy, Jacob, who left that morning and hasn't been seen since.
I thought they
So-
were using the ray that Donald made.
Oh,
So that-
Okay,
Yeah.
between Isco and Donald. Oh, that's right. It was mainly Donald. It was
I was
because he wanted
burning
to test his ray.
burning stuff everywhere.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
been,
yeah, yeah.
he's just been busy burning because that's more.
Yeah. Isca was put on bonfire duty while the captain cobbled together. Basically, it's think of that as a death ray, but with the polarity inverted.
So all it does is fry the fungi out of your system.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Particularly tuned to the horsefly fungi, but it'll probably catch some other funguses along the way. Let's see. And then you went over to the McGregor place, which on the map is to the left of the actual settlement. Apparently McGregor, Olaf McGregor, and his spawn, wife, kids, grandkids, they have their settlement is almost as big as the actual town.
Mm.
So this guy had resources. Has still, because he's still alive. When people were hesitant to have Donald Captain Harrows aim his antifungal ray at them, McGregor volunteered to be the first one to see if it worked, and he said it tickled a little, and don't make me ashamed of you. Line up, and they all got
I
disinfected.
think if you had a serious infection, it hurt a little bit more, or it knocked you out anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the one-
A couple of the people who were far gone, they fell unconscious when Donald hit them with
Yeah,
it, but they were okay.
and then there was the little girl on the leash who was trying to walk away.
Yeah, it knocked her out too.
Yeah.
But eventually she woke up and she's fine.
Right. But that shows that some people get sick from it and some have this unerring attraction to go.
And Jacob, which is one of McGregor's grandsons, he left that morning and hasn't been seen since. So you think Jacob probably succumbed? I mean, that's the going theory, I assume.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I think that brings us up to date.
What direction are the cyber orcs coming from?
I will share that with you.
Thank you.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not the one I meant to share. Avert your gaze.
Too late. Already saw it.
Oh no, you took a screenshot. You know my secrets. I think this is the one I wanted. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the one without the word Hunting Claw Clan written on it.
Yeah. All right. So on this map, the three little houses toward the bottom, that's Northwood's Rest, the settlement. To the left of that, as I'm looking at it, where the dotted red line points down to, that's the McGregor estate,
Okay.
which is nearly as big as Northwood's Rest. It's got a manor house and a barn, and oh, this stuff all looks like it's bought from IKEA and built. Like the guy brought with him all the stuff to make essentially the Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Whereas Northwood's Rest is basically leftovers of the spaceship and cargo containers repurposed into a town. The McGregor plantation, this is a planned place, and he had the money to make that happen. So let's see. All they know, they call those woods the Northwoods, just because they do.
Okay.
And because Captain Northwood was the head of the expedition who died, in the crash. So in his honor, they name a whole bunch of stuff after him, including the Northwoods. So the orcs are in the Northwoods. When they first crashed here, they encountered the orcs, and they know, as you know, as everyone knows, that orcs are evil and vicious and can't be reasoned with, and are bloodthirsty, and are cyborgs, and you just can't talk to them. So, unfortunately, they have no weapons because they were supposed to be landing on an uninhabited planet, a colony planet which had been pre-sterilized by the corporation. So, imagine their surprise at finding that orcs had invaded their planet. Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why you should bring weapons, irregardless of whether you think the planet is uninhabited.
Well, the corp doesn't allow that.
Yeah, no, I can understand why. I mean, if you give the settlers weapons, then they are no longer technically under your thumb.
Right, so let's go find some orcs.
Yeah, that's my idea.
All right, so I think the very last thing that happened was you guys healed up all the settlers you could find, disinfected them all, basically, burned all of the infected animal carcasses,
Yes.
and and also make sure any surviving livestock is not infected or disinfected. That as well. So, you can
Captain, the infection jump species.
If that's possible.
Leslie and then Lloyd. Leslie?
I said we should take some kind of protection with us just in case, if that's possible.
Well, that's why That's why we needed it to stick around and use the disinfectant ray before we left, instead of leaving it behind for them to deal with.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
What'd you say, Lloyd?
I've got the disinfectant ray.
I asked the captain if the infection jumps species.
Oh, of course.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Has it been designed?
That I did not
I'm no
find
biologist.
out.
Yeah, if it were nano machines, I might be able to tell you, but I'm no
I can
biologist.
tell you from the initial dissection that I would need better equipment and more time to determine that.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have electron microscopy or anything like that to let you look at like the.
There were no CRISPRs in the broadcast van.
No.
Or the thing in Blade Runner where they zoomed in on one of the snake scales and found a serial number. Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't have that level of equipment yet.
We're working on it.
Yeah,
Okay. However, and the verbithers, the things that attacked, because these people are, when you tell them about horseflies or dinosaurs, or whatever, they're just like adamant. It's orcs and gundarks. Oh wait, that's not. Hang on. Let me. I got something better than. Let's see. Not gundark. What is this thing called?
Oh yeah, Lloyd. They're also from like 45 something,
Okay.
like the mid 46th century.
Targ. Okay.
Targ.
Okay. Not gundarks. Targs. They
The funny
were
thing is, you know
orcs.
what a targ is.
They are targs, and they were clearly sent by the orcs. And
Yeah.
every single person in the settlement is absolutely certain that that is what attacked them. Even though you tell them, look at this sheep carcass and see this? These are the exact same injuries that were caused to us by horseflies this big that we thought were dinosaurs when they attacked us. And they're like, yeah, whatever, man. We know they're orcs because we've seen them. And we know that targs killed our livestock because we saw them. So,
Is there a sample of this fungus around that I could take a look at?
I don't know if I saved any of it or not.
well, he was here. So if he wanted to look at it before it all got eradicated, he certainly could.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, looking at it using hyperacuity, my third eye, is there anything I can tell about it?
Wow. What would this tell you?
He does have the medicine. He is our medic.
All right. Make you got hyperacuity. Add your power to it. So reason plus power, perception roll, and I will roll against you, and I will tell you if you find anything fun.
All right, let's see.
Oh, this is in a. Let's say you would have done this the first time you guys discovered it was a parasitic fungal infection.
Yeah,
So this would be one of the horseflies back at the House of the Dragon. Okay. You need to beat a 9.
I did, in fact, beat a 9.
Outstanding.
10, 15, 17.
Zowie.
Wow,
Good lord, man.
you sure did.
That is a really good roll.
That's-
So, what can I... I'm trying to think of something extra I can give you.
11, 12.
Oh, you did say reason plus power plus perception, right?
I did.
It's only 2, unfortunately. You were 1 shy of getting your 3rd bomb.
2d6 plus your reason plus your power.
Oh,
And-
sorry, correction. I have done that wrong. Then hang on a second.
Wait, did I tell... Maybe I told you wrong. Let me...
No, I just haven't played the game in a month, and I've forgotten how to roll the bloody dice.
Oh.
I rolled 2 dice, not 7 dice.
Yeah.
Sorry, even so, it's 16.
Oh, that's still a good roll. All right. There's really only so much you're going to see with this. But so what you see is when you like zoom in on like a piece of a horsefly and the little threads of fungal infection, it looks to you like you're looking at a time-lapse photograph or time-lapse photography of something spreading because it is still growing as you're looking at it.
Well, we burned everything.
No. The thing that he's looking... This is back at the House of Dragon before you destroyed everything is when this would have been done. So the fungus, even though the horsefly is most clearly dead, the fungus is not and is continuing to spread and it's like tendrils spreading out and splitting and spreading out. So while you're watching it.
Okay.
Fun times. But that's really all you get. You don't see
Right.
serial numbers or anything weird like that.
Okay. So yeah, I can't tell if it's been manufactured or not, but it's certainly voracious. Okay. That was all I was curious about. Let's go kill something.
It does not require a live post.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so who has tracking? Because you probably want to make some kind of tracky sort of roll. Because the
Survival, right?
I think survival, it falls under survival, which I think most of us have.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
well anybody who wants to can roll.
I do not have survival, but I am turned over navigation, so if someone can tell me where it is,
Mm-hmm.
no problem.
Okay, wow. This apparently is very easy to determine because the things going on. I rolled really low. I rolled badly, so we'll just say that the clues are really obvious and hard to miss. So if you get a total of more than a 6, you got it.
Okay.
Roll a 13.
Actually,
A
6 or more. Are we done? Everybody roll who's wants to roll?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. 2 things are immediately obvious. The targ, which attacked the livestock, did not leave tracks. Not a 1. There are no animal tracks leading away from any of the attacks. 2. Someone walked from the McGregor farm northeast into the woods recently, like earlier today,
Like
And-
Jacob, maybe?
like Jacob maybe, and clearly took no effort to conceal their trail at all. They just walked in a straight line toward the woods.
All right, let's go ahead and follow those tracks then.
Alrighty.
So while everyone's going well, Isco rolled a 1, so he's like walking the opposite direction, completely oblivious. Or following something that's completely wrong.
Now, I was gonna say, how about if those with survival, do a group effect with me. I'm only rolling one die, but since I'm the lowest, I'll get the big bonus, and my pro from Dover navigation would then let me just tell the crawler where to go.
Uh,
I guess so.
Does that shorten up the story at all, Brandon?
you guys work together. So are you trying to drive the land ram into the crawler? I've been calling it different things. What do you want to
Yeah,
call it, Donald? It's your machine. What do you want to call it?
I mean, I think the crawler.
Okay.
I think
So
it would
were you
just be
hoping to take the crawler into the woods? Because again, it's the size of a truck and it's woods.
Yeah, okay. So we're probably going to have to do this on foot then.
Well, you are.
You poor benighted fools. You mortals who can't fly.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly comfortable on the ground.
I'm working on the jetpack. I'm working on the jetpack. I'm going to be the freaking Rocketeer by the end of
It's gonna be the worst day of my life when you can all fly. you're just all just gonna zoom around, hey, I don't know. Flash Gordon could fly around with a jetpack, and those turned out okay. So I guess I can handle it.
There's plenty of opportunity.
I can do
Go back
something.
and watch the MLK Commando Cody serials. You'll
I
get
mean, how many of those cryptids are out there that eat meat or flying cryptids?
This is something else. I don't think I've mentioned. You haven't really seen any dinosaurs other than the ones which attacked you at the House of the Dragon. You really haven't seen any dinosaurs for like a while.
Probably
Yeah, no, I'm assuming it's regional. I'm assuming this is a patchwork of things, and everything is more or less regional. And like dinosaurs couldn't come here because the flora is entirely wrong, and the fauna's, and so the herbivores stay there, and that's what the carnivores eat on mostly. And so the dinosaur land is going to generally be kept in the dinosaur land. Ecologically, it makes sense.
If you say so.
Each group.
either that or the fungus got them all.
Okay, so the people who are on foot follow Jacob's trail.
Mm-hmm.
Are you flying ahead, Lloyd? What's Erlang doing?
yes, flying ahead and around, just keeping an eye on things from above.
All right. I make another reason plus power plus 2d6 roll. Let's see if I give you see if you see anything fun.
15.
Oh, that's a good roll. All right. Well, I'll tell you what happens to everybody else, and then I'll tell you what you see.
Okay.
So, the red dotted line, as you can see, just kind of ignore the fact it continues past. Well, no, whatever. It's obvious. Okay, that's a deer trail. It's a wildlife trail. It's a trail that wildlife has used.
Okay.
And anybody, well, Dr. Anna, at the very least, knows that this is a thing that animals do. They get a routine, they make a trail.
Mhm.
So the red dotted line is coincidentally a deer trail that just happens to lead very, very close to where the McGregor farm is. That is also where Jacob went. It eventually hits the river, at which point Dr. Anna and everybody else lose track of Jacob's trail. So up to that point, you are on a deer trail, and you clearly see Jacob's marks of his passing. It's not hard to follow.
Mm-hmm.
At the river, the deer trail continues. Jacob's trail does not. So, up in the sky, flying around on his glowing cloud.
Yep.
I kind of didn't want to do this early. I was hoping it'd be a better reveal, but I'll show you now.
Okay.
Oh wait, cancel. Because this is what happens when somebody can fly. Next time, nobody can fly. That's my rule. Okay, here we go. Okay, the north, south, east, west of the map that I've been showing you is not north, south, east, west. It's actually up is south by that map because you came from that way, so which is east of where you currently are. So you headed west. No, actually, that's not right either. I've confused myself with my own weird, confused.
Rotate the map until north is up.
I might need to do that. Okay. All right, let's go back a little bit because I need this. So if I do, maybe you do too. Okay. So here's Outland, where you came from. You came from Tranquility.
We headed north.
On this map, north is to the right. So you headed. I had it right. You did head from the east to the west. Okay. I thought I confused myself. The wall is north. You headed west, past the floating mesas into the Madlands, which is you're on the fringes of that now. So you headed west. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So this other map. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. This is the kind of thing that happens when you're just kind of making shit up. All right. On this map, you came from the east, which is left. So on this map, what says N north is actually south. The haunted forest is north, down, and not on this map. Because it's 10-15 miles of plains between this forest and the haunted forest.
Could I ask if your viewer has a rotate button?
Who to what now? Maybe. Hang on. Like rotate the picture?
Right? Like, you know what I
Maybe.
mean? Click, and then it's right. And then north is up.
Like that?
Well, you're not sharing anymore.
Am I not? Oh, it looks like I am. Oh. Huh. I'll stop and I'll start again. Because as far as I could tell, I was. I guess when it... Okay, like that?
There you go. Now
Okay.
north is up and everybody's happy.
North is up on this map. You came from the east to here.
Okay.
The haunted forest is north. Like 10-15 miles from where you are.
Okay.
Okay, so you're heading southwest. You hit the river. Great. Meanwhile, on this map, at the southern end, you see some hills and a building of some sort next to the river. South and slightly east. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hills and some kind of building. All right. While he's flying around, being all kinds of flying, Erlang, move this out of the way, sees this in the distance. Might be relevant, might not be. You don't know. Wait, share? Why are you not doing it? Share. Oh, come on.
Apparently, it doesn't want to share.
Can you still see me at all? Because my
Yes.
Google Hangouts is frozen completely.
Yeah, no, we can see you.
Oh, for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
mine was acting a little flaky earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know in ways, but
It's just like all gray. I cannot. It's nothing. I don't see anybody.
Huh.
All right. Well,
Um,
I'll be right back.
okay.
Brandon, when I couldn't see your pointer,
Maybe Google Hangouts is having problems.
I'm back.
And now you're a
miss
black
me?
square.
Am
I'm
I?
still seeing him.
for me,
All right. There.
Oh.
Do you see that picture?
There we go.
Brandon,
All right.
You passed on the flaw to Kieran. She's seeing the black square now.
Oh, it went away. Now I see a really cool thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imperial Star Destroyer. Right?
Erling.
Well,
Well,
the motor off of one.
That
it's
might be where cyber orcs came from.
it's a gigantic spaceship that has apparently crashed, and it's sitting over there.
And where in relation to the map is it?
It's on the map. It's that thing with like the 7 hills in the building.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyway, Erlang Shen sees that way off in the distance. Maybe it's relevant, maybe it's not. I'm not saying it's relevant. I'm just saying you see it.
That's
Okay.
the thing by the river,
Hang on, I'll tell you where it is.
right?
On this map, most of the way down toward the bottom and slightly to the east, there are 7 hills that are upside down and a brown building, which is upside down. Okay, the brown building is the crashed spaceship.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it is huge, and it is broken. It is clearly not a spaceship that has landed. It is a spaceship that has crashed. It is broken and crashed and enormous. And this is obvious. Well, from this angle, you're not sure it's obvious. Never mind. So that's all you get from where you are, flying around in the air, looking at it.
Okay.
There you go. Other than that, it's just woods. You see woods. Birds.
I will
Some
come
birds
back
flying
to-
around.
Come back to everybody and explain to them that I see 7 hills and a crashed spaceship south of us
Wow.
along the river.
Along the river. I'll bet you Jacob went along the river. And you know what? That fella McGregor seems to me the kind of fella who would say, take care of the boy before you take care of anything else.
Okay.
That's what he do.
To look for the boy up near the crashed spaceship.
Not necessarily.
Take a vote.
Well,
By the way, I've got my scavenger tool bag with me, right?
Oh, well, yeah, you got whatever you can conveniently carry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely head for the crashed spaceship.
I
Erling
would
Shen.
wait, and go across the river real quick and see if the trail picks up on the other side.
Yeah, indeed. I mean,
We'll make another
Okay.
crash spaceship.
unless you went down river before getting back on, we should be able to find the trail again.
Okay, so which way are you going?
Besides, we would have to cross the river anyway because the crash spaceship is on the other side. I think. So why not cross it here and see if we can find the trail of the boy on the animal trail first?
No, I thought that's what it was the animal trail continues and his trail does not when we cross the
Because
river.
we didn't cross the river yet, I don't think. Or did we?
Well, I'm assuming you got across the river
Yeah, I thought,
and discovered that you had, while there is clearly the animal trail that you're on continues,
Okay.
the tracks of Joshua do not. So I'm assuming you've crossed the river at this point.
Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Well, let's follow the river to the crashed spaceship then.
hmm I think that's most likely what the boy did. Maybe made himself a little Tom Sawyer raft, and who knows.
Well, the river flows toward you from it, so a raft wouldn't have worked. But anyway, so you head along the bank of the river to the south, correct?
It seems reasonable to me. Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't heard from Isco lately. What's your deal? What do you think?
Yes. Let's investigate further. Sounds like fun.
Hey, can refresh my memory. Can Isco fly?
It can. Yeah, that's one of his powers he bought recently.
Oh.
It turns into the faster he goes, it looks more like a comet.
Oh, crazy.
Fiery comet.
Well, while Erlang's doing his reconnaissance, do you want to fly around and do some reconnaissance too?
Awesome. Yes.
Big roll.
Okay. I know how. I'm sorry, Brandon, but I now know how to take care of the harpies.
You think so, do you?
Yeah.
All right, Isco,
I'm
Do
doing
you have any
perception?
special senses?
No, no special senses. Night
Okay.
vision, but I stay right.
What?
I have ultra power. I could try something.
Ah, you absolutely could. Yeah. What do you want to do with it?
Um, like supervision, like long distance vision. See things
Sure.
up close, like an eagle.
Okay, sure. That's perfectly fine. You're not
What
using the
level
ultra power to fly, though, right?
No, no, I have flight
Okay,
and then
cool.
ultra power.
Then reason plus power plus 2d6.
12.
Wow. You need 8,
Oh wait,
9,
no.
10.
Reason
What?
plus power plus 2 dice. No, sorry, 16.
Jesus.
Yeah, I rolled 11, so I mean.
Okay. Well, you need an 8.
Oh.
It's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 2 levels margins of success. So I will give you something extra super special. So look at this map. You can see where the deer trail goes southwest, and on the map anyway, you see like 1, 2, 3, 4 green hills. Well, when you're up in the sky looking around normally, you can't really see anything there. There's no like big clearing or anything. However, using your Ifrit powers to zoom out and search the trees for activity, under the trees you see camouflaged, like intelligent creatures deliberately camouflaged, a settlement. There is a settlement. It is about twice the size of Northwood's Rest. Lloyd wasn't here, and I'll remind you all anyway because you may have forgotten. Northwood's Rest has around 120 people in it. So.
Oh boy.
So there is a
boy.
camouflage settlement there that normally, if you were just flying around looking, you wouldn't be able to see it. But your Ifrit powers clued you in.
So is that anywhere near that spaceship thing or that area?
Well, on the map, it's on the left-hand side, the 4 green hills in the clearing.
Yep.
That's where it is.
Well. Okay. I slide back down. People, settlement, something.
Would that have
Camouflage.
changed the group's path forward or not?
Yeah, he could have gone either way.
You know what? I think we should keep going the way we are, because that way we can come around their back door instead of the front.
That's true.
Always flank your opponent.
That's true.
How much distance are we talking about here from where we currently are? Right
Yeah. Isco, draw me a rough map. I can navigate from that.
Okay, yeah, I do that.
Okay, yeah.
I take a stick and draw it up on the ground.
12. We're talking maybe 15 miles between the two. I should probably be doing this in kilometers. The game system's in kilometers, but you know,
That's a healthy hike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People might have to carry people.
and from where you are to the spaceship is about 20.
This is going to take a while unless people with flight want to carry other people.
Well, there's only two.
Unless they can build a power boat out of nothing real quick.
There's only 2 people who need to be carried, and because I can get there almost as fast as the people who can fly.
I was going to say Atlanta can run at about the same speed we can fly. So
Yeah. Okay. Shall we just shortcut this thing for poor Brandon?
I'm not in a hurry. Do what you gotta do.
Role play 20 miles of walking.
You realize how easy that is. It's like, okay, several hours later, it's literally just that easy. So it's not an inconvenience for me at all.
all right, Ishko, you take the captain. I'll take the jet.
Besides, somebody,
I was
as fast as she is,
Well, I was
we
thinking
probably should have somebody on the ground with her.
If I find trouble, I'll run away from it. How about that?
Yeah, I was thinking we might be able to catch up with the kid.
Besides, just fly over me. I'll be fine. You guys will just have to go at like half speed.
Not a problem. Like I said, Ishko, if you want to carry the captain, I'll carry the Jedi Knight.
Okay, Brandon. Zoom.
Okay.
Minutes later, we are walking out of the forest into the clearing.
Jump on piggyback there, Captain.
You guys are hilarious.
Hold on.
Mission accomplished.
Several minutes later.
You literally spend more time determining who's going to carry who than it takes to get there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty funny. Oh my god, this is perfect.
Uh-oh.
Well, then I'm glad we're still filming this stuff. This is going to make a great episode.
You take out your little portable cameras and record. All right, great.
What we're
So,
used to doing.
all right, you divvy up the load. Atalanta, Princess Anna, on her run along the waterfront, you pass bears and otters and beavers. There's a beaver dam, and you run and jump over it, and the beaver's like as you go by. Little woodland critters say goodbye, say hello as you go by. All right,
None of them look
so
like they're infected, do they?
that is not what I wanted to share. No.
That is the funkiest looking woodland critter I've ever seen.
Shh, it's a secret.
I think we
Pretend you
fought
didn't see it.
them before.
All right, and after a while, you get to the thing that Erlang Shen described, which is, well, gosh darn it, that is a big crash spaceship, isn't it? Okay.
Plenty of technology on board.
It's also been a while because it looks like some of the local vegetation's been growing on it.
Funny you should say that. As you get closer, and you have to get pretty close to determine this kind of stuff, so I'm just assuming that you do. It may take an hour of walking or 2 minutes of flying or whatever it takes. But you get there, and anybody with biology or botany, knowing how fast plants grow, this is less than a year. It's not yesterday,
Ooh,
but it's
okay.
less than a year
Yeah, I
when this
have
crashed.
biology, so
I mean, you can't nail it down like to the day, but
okay.
it's at least 3 months and less than a year.
Wow.
However, it's broken. Donald can tell that it's defunct. It's in pieces. This is a crash spaceship. This is a
I wonder if
derelict
there's
crash
anything
spaceship.
interesting inside.
A couple of things.
I intend to collect pieces.
Good plan.
As you go around it,
Let's just
One-
say gen technology.
well, here's a funny thing. These people told you they were from the year like 4512. Their technology seems about maybe 20 years past yours. I mean, sincerely, like their solar panels are better than ours. They're better than 2019, but you would hope that by like say 2100 that they'd be better than what these people have.
Well,
They're
no.
better, but they're not that much better.
That makes sense because probably in the 30-something century there was the AI uprising and they've had to completely rebuild their technology.
They did mention that. Oh, it's something Lloyd wasn't here for. At some point there was a conference. I don't know why it came up, but the topic of artificial intelligence came up.
My little bot.
Yes,
They were scared.
because Captain Harrows has his minions.
They were scared of AI, and I told them, no. At best, this is artificial idiocy.
When they saw Captain Harrows' minions, his little robots, they freaked out and ran because their assumption is that any artificial intelligence that exists wants to kill them. It's just the way things are. Kind of how orcs are bloodthirsty cyborgs. It's just the way things are.
It's also possible that their timeline is not meshed at all with ours. We found that that's the case,
Does
right?
this look anything? Does this look anything close to the Space Vikings memories of?
No. It's not.
Okay.
If from your point of view, let me think, because this is I want to make sure I express this correctly. It is both less elegant and less sophisticated. So to you, this is like a child's project of what a spaceship should look like. You know, like science fair, like 6th grade science fair spaceship.
And a spaceship you carve out of soap in prison.
Yeah, to us it looks like the first commercial moon shuttle, or the first commercial Mars shuttles.
Or something like that. All right. But here's the interesting thing. As you're going around the thing, you hit an area, and the first thing that clues you in is that, there are several things going on at once, and I'll make sure I describe them all.
Do a flyer on the spacecraft, the crashed spaceship.
know where the damn garbage
Yes!
can is.
There's a couple of things you find that are important.
By the way, Brandon, I assume we're like continuing to film this as if we still had the show, because if we ever do get home, we're just going to drop the hell of a special. Right, guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think since the time you ran into
It's going to be worse.
yeah, since the time you got Edgelord's tablet, and he has his technologies. It's a funny thing. His technology is better than these frontier future people's technology, and he's only from like 20 years ahead of you. So, like his tablet, its solar conversion to electricity is like 1,000% what these people's solar panels are, which is like twice what your solar panels are. So, so since you got Edgelord's tablet and we were able to like reverse engineer his solar panel technology, yeah, you have no problem recharging your phones and flashlights and stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, the phones are useless, but they still have cameras in them. And but other than that, you know, your cameras and radios your radios work just fine. So
camera drones. I mean, you know,
all that stuff.
Not
All
that
that
we
stuff.
need camera drones. We just strap a GoPro to Lloyd's head.
Anyway, so oh man, I wanted something bigger than that. Hang on, let's see if I had different sizes. What?
But yes, we definitely do go ahead and pick up some new technology.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo.
Erlang, flying around big crash spaceship. On the far side, you see, at first, it looks like a field of flowers, red and blue and white. But then as you get closer, you realize they're not flowers, they are poker chips. Spread out over the area of like 8 football fields. Just like someone dumped a oil tanker full of poker chips just over the ground.
Like a casino crash.
Somebody went all in.
Like a casino crashed into a mountain.
It might be a casino ship.
Okay.
This might be what they used for money, or what they were planning to use for money.
And then what you see is kind of wedged in the side of the big crash spaceship is this. Well, of course, it's not in outer space now. It's crashed into the side of the other ship. But you see that, like, intersected with the first crashed spaceship.
That looks to me like a cruise ship.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that's what you got. And then a little further along, there is a break in the surface of the first ship. I mean, because they're both basically together now, but the ship that you saw, the first picture, there's a great big gap back by the engines, and this is poking out that gap. And I'll show you this. And hang on, because there's one thing after this. Just hang on. That, the size of scope, or for people who aren't local, a football stadium.
Ah, we found our fungus.
That is poking out of cracks in the first spaceship. And on the ground, around that, on the ground is an area of offal, Offal.
Yeah.
Awful.
Basically, if you got like, I don't know, 100 cows and threw them into a wood chipper and just like, sprayed it all around,
Yeah.
that is like surrounded the outside of the spaceship, where this is poking up out of the spaceship. And as you, I'm assuming you get a closer look because you're a curious guy, there are maggots the size of this bottle crawling around in the offal. And there's a cloud of horseflies about yay big,
What size is a loaf of bread?
about the size of a loaf of bread. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to turn around and fly back, and the first person I'm going to fly up to is Isco.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, we need a whole lot of fire up there.
Challenge accepted.
Like,
So wait, one thing to keep in mind. One thing to keep in mind. There is a non-zero chance that that would be committing genocide.
What if it's an intelligent life form?
That's bad, right?
I can go show you what it looks like.
I'm just saying. There is a non-zero chance that burning it all would be genocide.
I'm okay with that.
It's up to you.
How do we tell if it's not? If they're like smart or something? I mean,
I don't know.
that would be a genocide.
I'm
Right.
just saying, if this is the only of this sport in existence and you burn it all,
At which point, this thing attacks you.
Yeah.
I hit it with my ray gun.
Is that one of those dark creatures from World of Warcraft? Like one of the ones that shoots out those things?
So
It is.
If you build this thing and it's intelligent, will it be murder?
This is actually a drawing of a creature from World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
but I couldn't find a good actual screenshot of them. But this, I think, gives the impression really well.
Is that a cyborg?
It is not. It is neither an orc nor is it cyber.
It's a fungal thing, right?
It is very clearly, to your biologist's eye, some kind of fungus creature.
Which is why I waved my antifungal ray at it.
All right, here we go. We're gonna go like into the whole combat thing.
I've been having this thing ready this whole time.
You're holding your blunderbuss of antifungal ointment.
Well, I've
And,
used it as it's an ultra spark power, so I have to keep it up in order to keep it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It has been ready this whole time.
There you go. All right. Let's go left to right. Let's go. Oh, we've lost Craig.
I'm here.
All right. Do you want to go? Or you want me to pass you and come back?
Oh, go ahead and go. I'm washing my hands.
Kill it with fire.
All right. It is going to attack, let's see, the person who flew by. So it runs up to Erlang Shen, who is talking to Isco. And it waves its big kind of fungusy, tentacly arms. And you need, Erlang needs to roll to not be killed. So this would be close combat. 2d6 close combat. Braun.
I sent a picture to you, Brandon.
Awesome. I look forward to receiving it.
All right, 2d6 plus close combat. How about a 6 total?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I definitely hit you. Oh, here's something. Because margin of success when applied to combat has been resulting in people getting knocked unconscious way sooner than I actually planned or hoped, I'm not going to do the margin of success in combat for a while until I change my mind. So when somebody hits you, you'll lose 1 health endurance, instead of like 3 at a time. Is that
Okay.
cool with everybody?
That's awesome with me.
Since you're the one who's been getting knocked out, I would imagine you would be okay with that. All right. So, 13. I rolled a 13, so
Okay.
you lose 1 endurance as it
And you're gonna have to get
it beats down on you with its big, heavy, fungal tentacle arms. Yeah. All right. Great. Isco, what you gonna do?
How far away from me is it?
A meter,
Oh,
2 maybe.
well, then,
It's like right there, because it's attacking Erlang, who is literally talking to you 1 sentence ago.
okay, so I'll shift into fire form, pointing the flaming scimitar and smite it.
Roll some dice.
Doom.
I rolled absolutely horrible. So let me make a note of
Okay,
it.
so let me see if I've got this. I know we've been doing this for a while. It's because I have combat. Oh, I was in the wrong form. Sorry. Close combat, plus brawn plus power.
Yes.
Okay. Woo! Finally. Reroll 1s and 2s because I have expertise. 1s and 2s again. 1 again. There we go. 15.
You strike at it with the burning sword, right? Yeah, awesome.
Two-handed.
You cut into it, and it seems like weirdly easy to cut. It's like it's big and it's wailing on Erlang with like what is clearly a lot of mass. But when you like cut out with your sword, it's like cutting into a marshmallow. It just like goes straight through. It's like kind of yucky, really. Right. But you clearly heard it.
Okay.
Who is Donald?
Yes. I waved
that
my
thing.
rapier at it.
Okay. Roll some dice.
What tree? It was a 14 on the roll to make it antifungal. Do you want me to?
No, this is
run it
ranged
like the gun?
combat. It'd be a ranged combat roll. So
Okay, ranged combat. 10. Yeah, because it's not blast, right? Or do I add my power level?
it's yeah, agility plus power level plus 2d6.
14.
All right. Okay, you and as you move the antifungal ray back and forth over this sizable critter, you can see the skin where it hits like just kind of like bubbles and dries up and like retreats from the ray.
That's
So-
good. That's what we want.
Well, yeah, I imagine it is.
So this is the same fungus.
It is the same fungus.
Which means it
Okay,
probably isn't cyborgs.
Dr. Anna.
I go ahead and announce. Okay, now it's an invasive species.
Dr. Anna, what you doing?
Well, thank you. I feel much better knowing that.
I was giving it the benefit of the doubt until it tried to attack us.
I wish flaming arrows actually worked because they can't. But yeah, okay.
Wait. What? I need some explanation behind that. What do you mean?
Flaming arrows don't really work. They blow themselves out.
Does this seem like a really realistic game to you? Are we being really heavy on the like the? Have you? Wait, Dr. Anna.
Dr. Anna,
Have you packed enough water? When's the last time your character used the bathroom? These are important, realistic concerns.
I don't
How
have
many
the gear.
rations did we pack?
Dr. Anna,
Yeah.
why not just have magnesium heads on your arrows? That way they won't.
Where would she get? No, that I draw the line. Where would she get magnesium?
Never looked for.
We found magnesium on it lately. What the heck? Cutting into the thing seems to be working. I got a nice big structure.
It does work. It does work.
If you want to use blast, it's a power. So
Yeah.
So, what are you doing?
I also have used. I also have strike. So,
Okay.
besides, if I use blast, it's an area effect, and it's currently standing next to my colleagues. So,
Yeah, that's explosive blast.
oh, never mind. Okay, well, I'm gonna go run in and strike it with my blade. I have strike. I have a big sharp pointy blade.
Okay, brawn plus power plus 2d6.
All right.
And if you have expertise, you re-roll your 1s and 2s
Expertise. Let me see. I think I do.
on the close combat.
Yes, I do. Hey, goody. 15.
You needed a 13. So, yeah, you hack at it. And you have a similar experience that Isco had. That you're kind of... It's clearly a massive creature. But as you cut into it, it seems like weirdly soft, like a marshmallow. Which is
Like
creepy
a
as hell.
mushroom.
But
like
you,
a mushroom.
you cut into it and I mean, it cuts and then kind of half reseals, but you clearly did injure it. It is not shrugging off what you're doing by any means. Michael.
It's a walking mushroom. Just think of it that way. Yeah, I think we're going to see if the telekinesis will be useful. Does the power bring up the poundage? Does bring up the power level bring up the poundage?
How much you can lift, you mean? Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, by how much?
I'll find out for you. Give me a minute.
Like an order of magnitude.
It is, yes, it is a lot. What's your power? What's your power, Leslie?
My power's 6 now.
All right, hang on a second, and I will tell you.
I'm on that screen right now. What?
You
so
can
6 now?
lift 5,500 kilograms.
5.5 tons.
5.5 tons. Yeah, 2 cars. Just to put that in context.
Yeah,
let's find out how much this puppy weighs.
It is nowhere near that.
Off his feet. What?
you can almost lift the crawler.
Yeah, I'm going to lift the critter, take him off his feet, which should make him less capable of fighting while everybody else wails on him.
Well, do you lift it out of range for people to attack it hand to hand?
Oh no, I'm just taking it slightly off its feet.
Okay. Just so we're clear. If other people can hit it, it can hit other people.
Yeah, but it might be thrown off by not being on solid ground, is what I'm thinking. Or I can just pick it up and slam it down, which is probably my other idea.
You could do that.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
It kind of have a whole lot of structural integrity to it.
Yeah. And allow everybody to at least maybe a couple free shots. So, is this considered ranged attack?
No.
Yes.
Okay, because that means I get my...
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Telekinesis is actually a mental power. So it's mental
power,
combat. Yeah. So it's presence plus power level with your mental combat skill.
All right.
It used to be range, but I made it mental because...
that one these days. Okie dokie.
I like that.
You said presence.
Presence, which is your strength of will attribute.
Yeah, I need to improve
plus
that.
Power level.
6, which will make it 8. It's a total of 16.
Jesus.
Wow.
All right, hang on. 1, 2. Let me see what I got.
Just basically taking it off its feet and slamming it on the ground.
My presence is actually not too bad. So, how much you roll again? Total?
16.
All right. Michael. And lifts the thing out of the air and slams it, body slams it. And that does terrible amounts of damage to it. At which point you see like bones start poking out of its mushroomy substance.
So it actually had a skeleton.
There
wow.
It was probably once a person, yeah.
Erlang Shen! It's on its back. It is very easy to hit. You get a... Wait. I've actually forgotten how I do this.
Well, I'm going to read it.
Hang on.
Okay.
Because I need to know what my rules are. Because
I assume this is a large thing.
changed them so many
A
times. It's
large thing.
okay. Prone. Defender is prone. Attack is close combat. The defender gets a penalty die. So he rolls 1d6 versus your 2.
That's what
This
I
is
was
this is
counting
like
on.
100 kilo rather than 50 kilo thing, right?
What?
This is like 100 kilo size thing rather than like a 50 kilo size thing. Like this isn't likely to be the boy.
The creature you're fighting
Yeah.
is like a 260 kilo thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just
Well,
That doesn't mean it's. That does not mean that it's not Joshua, the guy who ran away yesterday morning.
granted.
And the fact that he's lost a dice is what I was counting on.
Well, yes, you totally did that. You cheated him out of a die. So Erlang is doing what?
Level 12.
5.
I really have a head, so I'm aiming for heading for a slash shoulder to chest.
Wow. Like crossways?
Yes.
Well, all right then. I actually rolled really well on my 1 die. You rolled a what again?
12.
You needed a 12. And that actually is all of his endurance. So you... And this Lady Ashwan, the sword, or is this the staff sword thing?
No, it's the sword I'm pissed.
Okay. You cleave, not in twain exactly, but you cleave a hell of a gash, crosswise, exposing rib cage, and that is enough damage to put the mushroom monster down. It stops moving. Well, on the macro level, it stops moving. On the microscopic level, which your third eye can tell, it is very much still alive and perfectly willing to infect anything that touches it.
I keep waving that ray on it.
Oh, if people stand back. People stand back while Captain Harris waves, hoses it down with his antifungal ray. All of the fungus basically shrivels up and dies, and what is left behind is a human skeleton. Biologists or people with medicine would think that's probably a human male around 17.
It's Jacob. Probably.
Yeah. It ain't.
You want to wave that fungal ray on me a couple of times, please?
Not a bad idea.
I've been a little bit too intimately familiar with this thing before it died.
Yeah. No, anyone who's had contact, we're hosing down the area.
I'm just going to assume at this point that after any contact with this life form, you're going to take the proper precautions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it tingles, but you're fine. Nobody's so far gone that it even knocks you out unconscious or anything. So there you go. So now what? This is probably Jacob.
Spaceship covered in poker chips on one side and guts on the other. Said guts are covered in giant flies and giant maggots.
We need to take all them down too.
Like a really big flamethrower. Or one of those. Antifungal ray, but on a much larger scale.
No, I like the burning ring of fire.
It's usually my first choice. Yeah.
I'm in favor of Johnny Cash at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how to make that big of a fire. It's a pretty big area. You need a fuel and some kind of reaction source.
Well, Isco, hang on. Let me take a look at Isco's character sheet.
I was going to say we have a crashed spaceship engine here with technology not that much more advanced than our own, which means likely liquid fuel. There may be some left, at which point that's a really big boom.
That would be helpful, yes.
Yeah. We need to get it farther away then.
Okay, so hey, Isco, did you get ultra power?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't have your current character sheet.
Aha.
The most recent
So-
one I have is invisibility, shapeshifting, fire immunity, fire form, damaging aura, damage resistance. I don't have ultra power on
Right.
here.
Root orders doesn't make sense for Francisco. It only makes sense because it's part of what immunity, I think. So when I'm in fire form, I would have the um, damage resistance. So I dropped that. I took night vision, flight, and ultra power.
Do you have fire form outside of the ultra power?
Absolutely, that's my normal form.
Okay.
The ultra power. So far, the ultra power I've used for healing, damage, aura, explosive, and then hyper acuity to eagle eyes.
Well, you can do fire explosive.
Oh.
Yeah. You can do. That was my thing with the harpies. Is you fly up there and then you do damaging aura explosive, and you just blow up 10. 10.
Well, sure, I did that with what we thought were velociraptors earlier.
Yeah,
You
you
did,
blow
it's
up
true.
10-meter radius of harpies, and I'm not sure the rest are willing to attack you after that. If they are, more power to them. Do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's everybody. The explosive is 10-meter radius. So we're talking. That's that is half a football field worth of fire.
Yeah,
Roughly.
a circle 60 feet across.
Roughly.
Yep.
Wait, 10 meters? No, that's not right. It's 100 yards in a football field, right?
Right.
Oh, so forget what I said. What I said was wrong. It's still a big area, though.
This is a 20-meter diameter.
Be like 20 yards ish.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Still a big area.
it's still a sizable area.
It's really only to do. That would take a long time for all those creatures. It'd be better if we had some fuel that I could ignite as well, and it's not going to hurt me. So I'm totally cool doing that.
Captain Harrows, can you invent a method or come up with a method to pull, say, oxygen out of the air and focus it?
What about fuel tanks on that spaceship thing? Maybe
Yeah, I think it would be easier just to open up a fuel line on the spaceship and blow up the 10-meter radius and have the open fuel line be part of that.
Well, the spaceship just happens to be inhabited by a fungus monster and about 10 squintillion giant bugs. So I just figured out something to do about fighting a giant fungus monster and 10 squintillion giant bugs.
Yeah.
So,
I think we should just remove this entire thing from existence.
Yeah, that's a neat thought.
what about the whole genocide thing, huh?
Oh yeah, you haven't addressed the issue. This may be a sentient life form.
Invasive species.
Okay.
If Jacob had been okay,
Parasitical invasive species.
yeah, if Jacob had been okay, or not Jacob, Joshua, if the kid had been okay, it would have been one thing. But when it attacked us with him, that was like 2 nails in the coffin.
Look out, kitten attack.
Yeah.
Just
Down.
Printer. Cats love printers.
yes, printers are made.
Hey Brandon, have you tried hissing? That sometimes helps. Not kidding. Oh, it's fine.
Kitty.
What do you? No, get off that.
Kitten.
So, Brandon, I don't know this, but if you use their name, you're actually reinforcing their behavior. So hissing is much better. Hissing you get in their face, so that'll make it effective.
He wants it. No, what? Now he's gone. Well, he left. Whatever. He wants attention. Is what he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's back. Come here. Say hello. Hello.
Hey,
Look how big he's gotten. He's huge.
Yeah.
When I first got him, he was like this big. It's like
oh, what a sweetie pie just
it's like
hanging.
he could fit in his own mouth.
And the fact that he lets you do all that too.
Oh, what a sweetie pie he
He's
is.
very pretty.
Must eat rabbit.
He's a really pretty cat. It is
He
true.
is gorgeous.
The
Yeah,
stripes and
he is.
all.
And he's actually very, minus the biting. He's actually very, very nice, very tame. He lets you
He's
pick him up and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's very sociable. Well,
yeah.
Okay,
He was-
sociable.
for
He's
people.
just trying to find a way to bite.
He just he wants
he's
attention.
biding his time. He'll have his revenge.
He's not a bad cat,
No, definitely
Just
not.
forgets
but
to
he's
be
a
good.
bully. All right, so
That was
spaceship.
one of my parents' dog. He wasn't a bad dog. He just kept forgetting to be good.
Yeah.
He just wants to bite. It's just weird. So anyway, switch plan.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah.
I could do that bit where I go down. And it doesn't take a while to kill it all, so fuel would be great. Hey,
So
identify-
you were talking about fuel for the spaceship. Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, are these spaceships from the same era? Or is like one from the people and one from
Here's the thing. You can't fly. Does somebody fly Captain Harrow's around to like take a closer look at the spaceships?
Sure, if he wants to.
Okay, I climb on the cloud.
Okay. Erlang puts a steadying hand on Captain Harrow's shoulder, and they fly off on a glowing cloud, never to be seen again. No, just kidding. So you fly around, and the thing is, they look like spaceships from two different franchises. It's like a Star
Okay.
Wars spaceship and actually more like a Firefly spaceship got rammed by a Star Trek spaceship. So it's like they don't look like they belong in the same movie.
One's ILM, the other one's Roger Corman.
Yes.
But they are both infected.
Actually, the infection's popping out of cracks in the Roger Corman spaceship. The big one that's actually on the ground. The other one's like poking into the first one.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure we should take the chance. I think we just need to burn it all. That's a shame.
Do we just need to move the whole thing until it glows?
Yeah, it'd be some great advanced technology, but well, yeah.
Well, Brandon, how long is that big spaceship? We're talking
Sorry.
kilometer?
So
How long is the big one?
how long? Well,
Yeah.
again, what you're actually seeing is probably just the engine. Okay, picture Battlestar Galactica.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody familiar with Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah.
Okay, that spaceship had like the front part, and then like the middle part that had like little side parts on it hanging off of it, and then a big ass engine part. What you were looking at is the big ass engine part of a much bigger spaceship. That's really all you're looking at is the ass end of some much bigger spaceship.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. The Star Trek spaceship, how much of a distance is there between the crashed Star Trek spaceship and the fungus monster?
Um, 200 meters.
There you go, Captain. Keep the blast contained within 200 meters, and you can go poke around in the Star Trek spaceship as much as you want.
Okay, so how many ISCO booms would it take to destroy this whole area?
A little bit like how many licks to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop.
Well, here's the thing. The horseflies are infectious, and they fly. So, if you want to what's your goal here? Is it is everybody back?
Really?
I got like a weird
Yeah.
thing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
All right. If your goal is to end this here, you would need to catch every single horsefly because they're all infectious. So, while Isco could very easily just flame on and just walk in a concentric circle until he burns everything out, there's a good chance the horseflies can get away unless the rest of you are doing something.
You need
about
really
that.
big fly paper, really big sticky fly paper.
Plus, we're not sure what's still roaming around here.
Well, I'm more than I'd be more than happy to chase down horseflies and kill them, but
I'll wave my ray gun around as much as we need.
I can run faster than the flies can fly.
Okay, this is what I'm going to call a extended task, and I've got rules for this because I wrote them.
good for you.
Yay! And I get to use them now,
Use
which
something to
is
attract the flies.
good for
That would
me.
definitely help.
Okay. I'll quote from my own rules. When attempting an extended task, the GM sets a difficulty value and the required number of successes. The GM might also set a maximum number of attempts to indicate tasks that have a time limit or penalty for failure, such as disarming a bomb before it explodes. Okay, there's not going to be any time limit. If there's not a time limit, you can just keep doing it until you win. Well,
Yeah.
fuck that. So you just keep doing it until you win. So, between Dr. Rana's arrows and Isco walking around and Erlingshen zooming after stray horseflies and Michael doing his thing with the TK smashing a horsefly into the ground.
Psychokinetically keeping them hurt.
Yeah, but between the team, Isco doing like the up close in front and the rest of you doing interference on all the horseflies. Everybody make a 2d6 plus your presence roll. I almost forgot about this.
You put the power in or no? If you're using a power.
No, it is 2d6 plus your presence.
Okay.
Unless you have mental defense. Anybody have mental defense?
I'm looking.
Actually, yes, I bought metal defense.
Holy shit. Add your power.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I didn't get that one. Wow. Mental resistance, is that what you mean?
That's what I mean, yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So I can add my power then.
Yes. Two of you have mental... I'm astonished, frankly.
Hey, I have a mental power. Why not?
I exactly have mental power. I did not like it.
My total is 15.
Mine's 14.
Fucking
12.
You needed a 14.
Well, yeah, yes.
So, Erlang and Michael keep your head during this, and the horseflies look like horseflies.
Mm-hmm.
To Isco, you are suddenly faced with a rising tide of water.
Ah!
Exactly. So what would you do?
No!
No, like seriously, like the middle where it seems like at some point there might have been something else there, but now there's like a rising tide of water and a wave that just kind of like out toward you. What do you do?
Isco, you're gonna have to
More fire.
Wait,
turn it into
let Craig talk.
a-
I can't hear
All
when
you do
you.
is more fire, more fire, more fire. What do you do? Hotter, hotter, hotter.
Evaporate it.
Captain Harrows. I'm trying to think what would be good for Captain Harrows. What are you actually doing? What's Captain Harrows doing during this to contain the infection?
Antifungal ray.
Oh, you're doing this. All right.
Yeah, antifungal.
So- You're waving your antifungal ray around. And then all of a sudden, half dozen white men in suits show up. And they're looking at reports. And they're like, Captain Harrows, you've been wasting this company's money for at least 6 years. There are no... What is this? Cryptids? No, we are canceling this. We're canceling your excursions. Sir, you have wasted your time. You need to leave. You go. We are done with you. Okay. How would you respond to that?
Does my death ray work on them?
They're just
Come on,
making-
B. Well, how would that protect the death ray for a minute? What would his reaction to that be?
Point the death ray at him.
Yeah,
And
have your people call my people when I get back from this place. You know? Go away and stop bothering me. I'm in the middle of something.
All right, Dr. Anna,
My God,
Adelante,
this is much bigger than a freaking TV show.
shooting arrows at horseflies. All right. All of a sudden, there's a crack of thunder, and the sky splits open, and a lightning bolt hits the ground. And a 30-foot tall guy with white hair and a big white beard and lightning bolts clutched in one hand. He's like, "There you are, Adelante."
Trying to have sex with you.
Oh, come on, man. Ruined my reveal.
Sorry, didn't mean to step on your
I actually wasn't going to quite go there. But that's okay. So, oh my God, it's Zeus. And man, there is no story that ends happily when Zeus gets involved.
no,
Just not one. Not a
Not
single
one.
one.
but so I have until he kills me to keep doing my job. Okay. Because it's inevitable. Let's see what happens. Gonna keep moving and
He hurls lightning bolts at you. He turns into a rain of gold. Ah! Anyway, it's thoroughly frightening. Am I conveying that it's thoroughly frightening to you guys?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
She's gonna like dodge as best she can. So it's gonna look funny to anybody who's like, what the hell is she doing?
We knew these things could create illusions, so
Yes.
All
Like
right.
dodge and sheep shooting.
To
To the
Michael and Erlang, Isco and Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna, for whatever reasons that you're not clear on, but you can figure it out later. They stop doing what they've been doing and they start focusing on something else. They're no longer shooting it or burning or aiming their antifungal ray at horseflies, which are trying to escape. So it's down to you two to do that. What are you doing?
Well,
How big is the fungus monster in the spaceship?
The size of Scope, or a football stadium for people who haven't seen Scope. It's huge. It's enormous.
Switch
And
from Lady Ashwand to the triple-bladed double-edged spear. Hold it out in front of me like a lance and fly straight into it.
in case anybody forgot, it looks like this. Ah, it's gross. It's so gross. All right. It's actually a real fungus. Is that
I thought
nasty
it
or
was a
what?
real fungus.
I
It
think
looks
I've
like
seen
a.
something like that before.
Could it be a fly mold?
That's the problem with gaming with biologists. You can freak them out.
They're just like, oh yeah, I've seen those. I saw that on Tuesday.
I see the spores from things like that.
He's back! He's back! Ah!
Hi there, kitten. Hi, there, kitten.
It's like he's really here. 3D. All right. Actually, Isco, I want to correct something I said. So, Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna start shooting in wildly, just wildly. But Isco has kind of hunkered down and is just pumping out as much fire as he can. So, he's not moving, but anything that comes close to him is just turned to ash.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Can you do what you're doing for a little while? I may need to get into their heads and show them what they're seeing. Is not
Oh,
real.
yes, good idea. Excellent idea. Capital idea. I'll take care of that.
So Erlang pulls out what would you change to?
The triple-bladed double-edged spear. That's what it's called. I looked it up.
The triple-bladed double what?
Double-edged spear.
The triple-bladed double-edged spear.
Yes.
It's like some kind of MC Escher spear.
I thought so too, but I've actually seen pictures of it. It's essentially a spear with like two crescent moon shaped blades on either side of it. Kinda
Oh,
cool.
crazy! And you
Yeah.
dive toward the enormous fungal thing. Which, to be clear, the only things moving in this picture are you guys and
Right.
horseflies and maggots. So
Got
it's
it.
like the enormous fungus structure. It's just sitting there. It doesn't do anything.
Hmm.
And then we have this.
Oh,
Aw.
He's not a bad cat.
Oh no,
Exactly.
he's a cat.
Mm.
He's
Exactly.
a male kitten.
Yeah, he's a male cat.
Mm.
A young male cat. That's
It
who
is
they are.
literally impossible for Erling to miss this thing. It's like running at a building and not
mhm.
managing to hit it. So, are you like diving into it with your spear? Is that what you're doing?
It is my intention to use a plot point to cause as much mayhem as possible inside this thing.
Well, let's say the plot point buys you explosive on your strike. So,
Oh,
10 meters in every direction. Just chunks just flying left and right. Yeah, that's really all kinds of nasty.
you were right to warn us at the beginning of this episode that it was going to be kind of gross. Yeah.
I did warn you. So, meanwhile, Michael, you were going to try and pull people out of their dementia.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to have to use mind control in a sort of different manner. I'm going to start with.
Oh my God, I completely forgot this. So, Erlang just spent a plot point.
Yes.
Everybody here has two, because everybody got a one previously because I screwed you over on the whole horsefly dinosaur thing. And normally they don't carry over, but it's been a month. I'm going to let it carry over. So you have two. So Erlang spent one. You still have one. Everybody else
Oh.
has two. So
Okay.
basically you have a point that lets you cheat. So you really encourage you to spend those points.
I'm
Michael,
yeah.
I would say
I
spend a
have
point
alter
on
power.
that.
I can do. I have alter power, which means I can mass do this. I think is what it said. It says I can do mass hysteria or anything with more than one person.
Yeah.
So I'll spend that plot point to get all three of them and push what I'm seeing into their three heads.
To like snap them out of their delusion.
Yeah.
Roll presence plus power plus 2d6. Do you
But
have
you're forcing your
expertise?
point of view on them. How political.
What?
But
Wait,
you're
wait,
forcing
wait.
your point of view on them. How political.
Okay. Do you have expertise in mental combat?
No, I don't. But
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get
That's
it next
fine.
time I have a
2d6 plus power plus
Yeah.
presence.
I rolled pretty well, so I'm not worried. Let's see, that's 11 plus. It's 11 plus 6, which is 17.
You needed to beat an 11. So, Isco and Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna, we lost Dr. Anna.
She's probably getting a drink.
Okay.
She's not dead yet.
After this fight, we'll take a break for a minute. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Isco and Captain Harrows and Dr. What are you drinking, Aaron? Kieran?
Old Rock Pear IPA.
Came this close to getting one of those.
Very hard
At,
cider. That's wonderful stuff.
they had it at Busch Gardens. I came this close to getting one, but I think I got a stout instead.
This was the first one you had.
It is. It is.
What does that taste like?
Better on a Perry.
No, the Pear IPA.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. Well,
Have you had the Bold Rock Pear?
No, I haven't had any of them.
Oh, Bold Rock has a multi-pack. This is a nice dry pear.
Okay.
The Harvest Haze is very apple juice tasting. It has a good alcohol content.
not as much apple tasting in the bottle as it was on draft.
No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
more the spicing and the background notes come out more. You lose a lot of the apple juicy flavor in the bottle.
That's
I
interesting.
I
It's
actually
better,
like the
it's
dry
better to pour
pear.
it into a glass than drink it out of the bottle, but
Huh.
neither of them are as good as on tap.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Isco and Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna, the images of the water and the bureaucrats and Zeus kind of fade, and you realize, oh, that was all just an illusion. And you feel the comforting presence of Michael telling you what's real and what's not. Which is a little weird, but not in a bad way.
Well, it's not water.
Like an unexpected hug from someone who you actually would consider a friend.
Yay!
Well, in that case,
Right then.
Uh,
And then the horseflies attack.
Of course they do.
Everybody. Agility. And if you have some kind of power for it, your power, plus 2d6 to prevent being eaten alive by horseflies.
Well, I have my telekinesis, which is what I'd use.
It would be damage resistance or something along that line.
15.
12.
So
You said agility. Let's see. Is
alright, so what am I? So after, in addition to the roll, I'm putting in my. What is
I
that?
don't think you have defensive powers.
No, he said that plus like one stat. Sorry.
Agility.
It's agility. It's
Yeah.
2d6
Yeah.
for ranged combat. And if you have expertise in ranged combat,
I have
you get to re-roll the ones and twos,
Yep.
plus your agility. And if you have a power like damage resistance, then you add your power to that.
does the telekinesis count?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
But
I thought
if Isco is in his fire form, that does.
mhm.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought that was close. I just had to re-roll one of my dice for range combat. Oh, that made it boxcars. Okay.
Boxcars.
Did you get a 14 or more?
Ooh, no.
Yes.
If you did not, you lose
Well-
1 endurance.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
So that's a Jesus. Come on.
I just made it.
Who did not get 14?
I did not.
Not.
Naturally, Erling Shen.
Get hit.
There's a reason why I bought my endurance up to 4.
The
By the way, Brandon, that is a maximum roll for me.
okay.
Unlike
The the loaf of bread size horseflies attack, and if you did not get 14, you lose 1 endurance, and will need to be disinfected later. So there is. Who here has a presence over 3?
I have 3.
3.
No, never mind. No, I don't. That was something else. I mean 2.
Yeah, just a 3.
Nobody?
Yeah, mine's
Well-
only 3.
Well, that's disappointing. All right, who here has a presence of 3?
Me.
3.
Okay, if you have presence of 3, you get a just vague feeling that the huge brain-looking mushroom thing is fighting for its existence. It sees you as an existential threat, which you are. Because you are.
Okay, now that we're on equal footing, turn the death ray on it.
Isco, what you doing?
All right. So what I would like to do, if I may, is use a plot point, and also at the same time, ultra power. Use my flame abilities to for a dazzle attack, but turn it into a mass dazzle with a plot point on the flies.
Oh, something else that I've not described lately. If you already have a way to do, say, mass dazzle or explosive blast, whatever, you can spend a plot point to extend that further.
I saw that in the powers, the extension bit, the larger
Yeah,
area.
the more you can stack those essentially. So
Uh, well, okay, if I could do that with explosive damaging order with plot point to get close to all of the flies, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll do like a mass dazzle, try to confuse them so they can be easier to be destroyed by others.
it's up to you. Which one you can do either one. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'd rather blow them all up if
All
that'll
right,
work.
cool. All right. Um, I imagine it because Isco's kind of on fire. So I'm imagining that everybody else is like like a semicircle around the area of chopped up meat that they've brought back to the nest, so to speak. And then Isco is actually further in, like going back and forth and kind of burning it out as he gets
Yeah.
closer to the mushroom. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yes.
Okay. So the people out here see Isco like focus his energies, and there's like a and just
A mini mushroom cloud, I guess.
eventually.
Supernova.
Oh, mushroom cloud. Is that a pun? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I guess it is.
Supernova.
Yeah.
It's like a hemisphere of flame that like goes out and 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 out, and then boom. And I think that's gonna like just burn out everything because I don't. Let me double check something. How far can you get with that? Increased.
I was gonna say, if you want me to next, I can spend a plot point to turn the antifungal ray in on the main fungus.
Okay, if you can do explosive blast without a plot point,
Yes.
a plot point takes that from 10 meters radius to 100 meters
Yep.
radius.
Yep.
Wow.
That is enough to get the entire thing.
And then there was an earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah.
Like a hemisphere of it's almost too bright to look at.
As the fire recedes from your retina, you see it just go standing in the middle, like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And then
Very pleased look on his face. Yep, that was me.
Now we gotta put the forest out.
no, you're well away from the forest
Okay.
because the big gigantic spaceship crash like tore up dirt on either side. You're not going to burn anything forest down. All right. So as the hemisphere of flame like contracts back to Isco, and he turns from a white hot silhouette of a person back to himself, and he's like, "Yeah, I did that." There are a few stray horseflies here and there, and you guys knock them out, and Captain Harrow's disinfects them, and it's all good. The whole thing takes probably about a half hour from the time you saw the spaceships to now. Half hour tops. Yeah. Now what?
Now we ought to see. Okay, well, let's check out the chips. I mean, we have to make sure that there's no more fungus inside.
As you go into the spaceship, you find that there's a significant amount of inside the spaceship that has been incinerated. Everything that is not made of metal has been turned to ash.
Well,
So-
yeah.
Yeah. Who has science?
I do.
Make a roll.
I have engineering.
Not good enough. You need science.
Mm,
One of those
Ding,
rare cases
pumpkin.
where it has to be one thing.
12.
Hang on, I'm rolling.
14.
You needed a... Oh, you both get it. This particular section just inside the outer hull of the Roger Corman spaceship. The one that's actually on the ground, the big one that you're at the ass end of, the engine compartment of the Battlestar Galactica. Okay, this particular section is some kind of... And you're inferring this from the way it's laid out, because anything that is labeled is burned out, anything that you could read is burned out. All you're seeing are the walls and the metal pieces that are left over, because Isco incinerated all of it. But given the way everything's laid out, this looks to you like some kind of lab. This was a laboratory of some kind.
Uh-oh.
Not a zoo, not storage for food, but a scientific laboratory where they experimented on different things.
Including fungus.
Funguses. Horseflies.
Horseflies, fungus.
Oh, by the way, Brandon, poker chips? Are they really poker chips?
Thousands and thousands of poker chips. The second spaceship which crashed into it,
Yeah.
you can fly, so it's easy for you. Those
Okay.
circular domed sections, several of they're all shattered. Okay, they're all shattered, but you fly into them and it's casinos.
Oh, okay.
There are poker tables, there's baccarat tables, there's lots and lots and lots of slot machines.
And when it crashed, are the poker chips?
Oh, and dead people. Literally dozens and dozens and dozens of dead people.
How evil do we want to be?
Lovely. Okay.
How,
Now here's a question: in the
Yeah.
laboratory ship,
Yeah?
did we find skeletons, or did we also find dead people in the laboratory?
They would have been incinerated.
Wait.
Yeah.
I need clarification. Leslie.
I'm not even sure you find both.
Meaning,
Stop.
we
What-
found a skeleton of the boy inside the fungal monster.
Yes, that's correct.
Are there skeletons in the laboratory ship?
In the areas where Cisco incinerated the ship, yes, there are skeletons. In the
Okay.
areas outside of that, there are dead bodies that are 6 months
Okay.
old that are on their way to being skeletons.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so we're all clear, nobody survived this crash. No one who was in either of these ships survived this crash. This is
Well,
like
clearly,
hitting a wall at 8,000 miles per hour. No one survived this crash.
I'm guessing
So-
the crash occurred because the fungus took over the ship.
Yeah, you did not kill any human beings or anything approximating a human being.
I assume that that a change storm happened and they crashed in mid-storm.
Weren't we worried about trying to find metal?
Do we want to collect up all of these chips and
Why?
introduce currency to tranquility?
Oh,
my.
Have they now put the market on it?
is that good or is that evil?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is how evil do we want to be?
So I just look around for any particular like artwork or anything that might be even more valuable.
I'll tell you what. Edgelord would have collected the poker chips and introduced currency to tranquility.
I know, which is why it sucks that he was a racist. We could have worked together. We totally could have worked together. He just had to be an asshole.
So what was your question, Craig? I didn't quite hear it.
So I was looking around for. So at heart, Francisco was an art thief once upon a time, right? Just looking for anything even more valuable, artwork or.
Make a roll. No, you'll find no art in the Roger Corman Assen engine part spaceship. You might find some in the casino ship. So make a roll.
What am I rolling? Perception.
Do you have a skill for art or something like that?
I do. Isn't it
Culture?
Culture? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any like weird power that would help you?
No, it's just greed, really.
Just greed. Well, greed is not a power, sadly. So 2d6 plus your.
Okay, maybe greed. More of a fascination with art. Maybe that's better.
Craig,
2D.
you ultra power your acuity.
I can put hyper acuity back on, but like refine it to like look for things that are rare and interesting.
Is that if you were anything other than a freak, I wouldn't allow that. But
Or a mystic creature.
genies and ifrits and all, they're more like creatures of art than creatures of power. So yeah, I'll give it to you. Why not? You're looking for valuable artworks. So reason plus power plus 2d6. Hey, sweetie. Mwah. Sweet dreams. What do you got? You need to beat a 13.
Believe it or not, I got a 13.
Well, a 13 beats a 13. 13. That's the way it works. So yeah, you fly up into the, it's like this. So you kind of have to fly through it to look around. Yeah, there are lounges and side rooms and things of that nature, and you find some lovely artwork. Is it valuable? Hard to say, since it's from the weird alternate future.
Yeah.
Will anyone pay for it? You don't know. But you can pick out some things you like if you like, and take them home.
That's what we're...
Sure, why not? So Isco comes back with some paintings.
Wow.
Got my loot.
You gonna spruce up your house with them?
Absolutely, more in my room anyway.
Why not?
Why not?
You got something better to do?
Yeah.
All right. So the gigantic
Power sources. Like
what?
I'm looking for like 3rd gen power sources, like
in the Battlestar Galactica ass engine part? No.
In the fancy looking one.
In the Star Trek casino ship? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You roll engineering, and due to your weird sort of person you are, I'll say reason plus power. So 2d6 plus reason plus power. And if you have expertise with engineering, re-roll your ones and twos. You need 11.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Wow. Fortunately for Captain Harrows, somebody has to give him a ride, because it's like sticking it's like 100 meters off the ground. But so someone has to give him a ride. I would guess Isco, since you're going there anyway.
Fine, jump on, piggyback. Let's go.
You hitch a ride with Isco, and we'll meet right here by the gigantic statue of the woman with the hula hoops. It's right there. I mean, pretty obvious. So, meet right here, like half hour. So, Captain Harrows goes uphill to the engine section where the power supplies are. Yeah, you find some compact, self-contained, non-radioactive. They're not infinite, but they will last longer than you will. Power supplies.
Yeah, like a D cell battery that'll run the crawler.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Run the crawler until your grandchildren die of old age. Yes. You find, let's say, 3 of those. 3. This many.
Awesome. I also take as many fittings for them as I can find.
As many what?
Fittings for them. Sockets to plug into.
You pry out whatever they're plugged into and take it with you. Sure.
Yeah, no, I go through the storeroom and grab all their spares. And,
well, you're not sure what, because you don't know this technology, but you find something that looks like a storeroom of spare parts of some kind, and you're like, well, that looks plausible. You just start putting stuff in a bag, and you hoist it over your shoulder and head out.
Yeah, because I think.
But the important part of all this is you have 3 power supplies.
Yes.
Power cells that are sufficient to run the crawler until your grandchildren die.
and I'm hoping to be able to take them from thing to thing and not lose them.
Okay. They all come back. Yay. So there you
But
are.
that's why I'm taking all the plugs. They're going to be modular.
So
The-
Captain Heroes has a bag of loot, and Isco has a couple of large, lovely paintings. What do you? Anybody else do anything? Dr. Anna, are you looting anything? I'm just curious.
Unless there's any interesting like weapons, like swords or something, or clothing.
Clothing.
Okay, there are two kinds of clothes. Oh, Dr. Anna and Michael. This makes perfect sense to me. Dr. Anna and Michael, everybody else flies away. Is Dr. Michael like, huh? Yeah, I think we got like an hour. Yeah, about an hour. So they're like, want to look around? Sure, why not? You guys like look around. You find clothing in two circumstances. One, it's on a nearly skeletal person who died 6 months ago.
No,
Or
that'll be disgusting.
yeah, I'm assuming you don't want that. So the other circumstance is you open a locker door and they're like hangers and there's clothing hanging on it. They all kind of look like uniforms, but it's fabric and it's clothes and it's functional.
Works for me.
Yeah.
In the big Ascend spaceship, everything that you find is gray.
Um,
Gray
Yeah.
pants, gray boots, gray shirts, gray hats. They're all gray. Light gray, dark gray, gray. If you make your way to the crashed casino ship that goes in, every color of the rainbow. Metallic, shimmering, glowing.
Patrons of the ship. Those will work too, because they'll come in several sizes.
Okay.
This is our loot.
Might Erlang help them get to the casino ship?
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah, I
All
don't
right.
have any interest in anything that's here other than sheer pure curiosity. You know, wander around and look at stuff.
You can also see more examples in the home app.
Can we find in the casino ship, if this is a modern day society, a futuristic society, any kind of electronics that we might be able to?
Oh, tons.
Hmm?
Tons. What are you
Well,
looking for?
Let's take
Anything
some of
particular?
that stuff too. Anything that's futuristic electronics and
And not nailed down.
yeah, pretty much.
If you've seen the movie Alien recently, oh, actually, I should have thought of this earlier. I wish I had thought of this earlier. In the movie Alien with Sigourney Weaver, and they find the alien and all that, the computers in that ship the screens are boxes this big
Ah, bugger.
with screens this big. Okay,
Mhm.
that is the crashed ship's level of
Okay.
technology. It's very retro, but also ahead of you by a few years. So it's like a weird mix of things. The crashed casino ship, it is Star Trek The Next Generation. They've got a tablet, and that tablet has more memory than every computer you've ever owned put together.
Let's take some of them tablets.
Yeah. And the tablet is the throwaway thing that is kind of given away for free. It's like the US in the modern world, it'd be you go to a convention and somebody's giving you out for free a USB key with all their books on it. You know, it's like
Okay.
that. It's like a throwaway piece of technology.
Okay, can we find anything that's basic electronics from which Captain Harrows can build something? We want some of that kind of
Well,
stuff.
you'd kind of have to ask him that, but there's tons of stuff like that in the casino ship. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take some clothes. Let's take some
Oddly enough, the casino tables, like the baccarat tables and the roulette tables and things, they have some pretty sophisticated stuff in them, electronics wise.
Mm.
So you can like pull boards out of them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just
Those of us who aren't computer techs know enough about computers that probably we can pull that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, I'm leaving that to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. We're pulling you some components, Captain.
Hmm.
I've got electronics as a skill. If you have any
Yeah.
questions, I can answer them for you.
I'm basically saying if it's I'm considering if pulling electronics as defined as nailed down.
Down, yeah.
Yeah.
And clothing
I am
falls
not
into that
pulling
category, too.
electronics. Somebody else can do that if that's their thing.
One of these things of if it's not nailed down, then it's mine, and if I can pry it up,
At
it's
least it's not nailed down, yeah.
Well, like
And-
that, they're like I will leave electronics things to the people who have electronics.
Mhm.
All
And
right,
of course, we're going to grab some clothing, too.
you regroup back on the ground
Mhm.
with your various textiles and electronics and artwork. Now what?
Back to I guess we've taken care of the problem, because I don't think there were any orcs. I think they were just
Yeah,
seeing what they wanted to see.
There is another group. I think we ought to like sneak up behind them. Maybe,
Let's take what we've got to the. Why don't we take what we've got to your crawler first, so we can get it off our hands?
Oh yeah, that'll just be a couple of quick flights, won't it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, it
It's
will.
about 20 miles from where you are,
Oh,
which is a long way walking, not that long flying.
Yeah.
oh, it's a short run. Okay, got
A
it.
short jog for Dr. Anna, yeah.
Okay, so all of this stuff goes back to the crawler, and then we move on and sneak up behind this other joint.
Okay, let me go back to this. No, I don't want to.
We hit
So-
the save button. Save game.
So, you go from this thing here with the 7 hills and the big thing, right
Mhm.
here, bottom slightly
Yep.
right. Go back to the crawler, which is at the top center where the settlement is, Northwoods Rest. Unload into the crawler. Captain Harrow's minions all salute. Give a report. They have defended the crawler from several incursions from people who wanted to touch it.
Kill them all.
Don't hurt anyone. They can.
No. They have standing orders not to cause actual injury to someone who
Okay.
hasn't caused actual injury to them. So, no,
Okay.
all they've done is push them away. And to their mild surprise, the people they push away run away screaming. So,
Right.
the crawler is safe. That's what you need to know. The crawler is
Right.
safe.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
This is
They-
a common occurrence in this household. I have 2 cats on the lap, and then one leaves. It's like they're jealous, and then the other one leaves. I had those cats for forever.
Yeah. No, it's the problem is that they recently had a Butlerian revolution.
Okay, you unload in the crawler. Now what?
Surprised they don't have mentats chewing on berries or something.
Back
Well,
to
not
the secret
here.
encampment, I guess, Brandon.
What?
I said, I guess back to the secret encampment then.
Yes.
The one that who saw this? Oh, Isco saw this. So
Oh,
Isco
yeah,
has to
we'll check it out first.
show you guys where it is.
Yeah.
No, he described it to me. He drew a map.
Yeah.
Isco can tell Captain Harrow's the location, and Captain Harrow's, with his uncanny ability to navigate, can tell you exactly where it is. But until you actually get there, Isco's the only one who actually knows you're there.
Right.
Like, it's all flying by instruments as far as Captain Harrow's is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, according to our instruments, we should be there. Are we there? It's like, that's Captain Harris's point of view. So, but you get there, and yeah, it's a town. It is deliberately obscured from aerial observation by camouflage, some of which is technological, like clearly plastic or something like plastic, and some of it's branches and trees and things. It is deliberately concealed. The town is made of local materials, is branches and trees and logs and things. It's lots of well, it's what do they call those houses made of logs? I don't know.
Log
What it's
cabin?
called. Log cabins. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing. Do
I'm
you?
thinking like the survivalist videos where the dude walks off and into the fields with a pair of shorts on and uses mud to make ceramic to blow glass and make huts and
Primitive technology.
yeah.
How are
Dude
you
makes
approaching it? Are you just like, this is important because this is how this will impact how you are responded to? Do you just like boom, land in the middle of town, or do you approach stealthily? What's your deal?
I think I go in and scope it out invisibly first.
Yeah. I want some intel before we decide which one we're gonna do.
Yep.
I mean, the proper thing to do may be to just come strolling straight on up the main thing, asking if anybody's been bit by a fly. And if so, we need to disinfect them.
Huh.
I mean, that's our job here.
I had a picture that I've lost.
If it looks like there are a bunch of convicts walking around with, baseball bats with nails in it, we might want to take a little bit more of a couple of superhero landings and some fanfare and really show them who's boss right away, or But if it's regular townsfolk, we're the exterminators. We're medical professionals. We're public services here to help.
Doctors, we know what we're doing.
Okay, here's what you see walking around in this town.
Cyborg.
Except, with metal pieces replacing their eyes or replacing their arms or replacing their legs. They're obvious cyborgs.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Okay, so,
not all of them, but most of them. So you got like the big red eye on one side, or the big, robotic arm on one side, or both of their legs are big robotic legs. That kind of thing.
Right, like a West Coast super mutant in Fallout.
I haven't played that, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh my, really? Oh, you must.
So, they're green, and they are cyborgs, and they are roaming around their town doing things that people who live in a town would do. Carrying a basket of...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an East Coast.
That's an East Coast. Oh, good to know.
That's an East
Good to
Coast.
know.
They're a little bit lower technology.
Good to know.
But yeah, that's a super mutant.
Yep.
All right, then. So that's what you see. What do you do?
I'm still inclined to say let's just walk on up the trail, announcing ourselves, telling them please don't be alarmed. Has anyone been bitten by a fly? There has been an infestation in the area.
And ask them if
That's
they've
my
seen
initial inclination.
ask them if they've seen several dozen sheep.
Yeah, if they go ahead and draw arms and start attacking us, we can, respond appropriately.
Well, we can do that and say, yeah, well, we took care of them, so don't worry about the
I have a better idea.
nasty.
If they draw, if you stay behind with your vehicle, and if they draw their arms.
No. We're in the middle of the forest. We couldn't bring the crawler.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just all show up then.
Yeah. That's my idea. Is we're here to help them. There has been a fungal infestation, and we need to make sure that nobody's infected so that this thing doesn't spread.
And oh, by the way, we took care of it.
Well, yeah. Isco here burned it out.
Betcha. Sounds good to me. Let's show each other first.
Yeah, if they react negatively to that, I don't know what to do for them.
Okay, so the consensus is you walk up the trail and say, "Hey, buddy, I'm here to investigate
Yeah.
a fly infestation."
Yeah, please don't be alarmed. There has been a fungal infestation, and we are here to try and make sure that everybody is healthy.
All right, then. You walk up the trail. I thought for sure I had a thing for this. Damn it. I did, but I've lost it. Makes me sad. All right, you walk up the trail. The orcs, because I mean, come on, they're orcs. They're pretty obviously orcs. They see you. Um, they don't run away, but they stop what they're doing and look at you as you walk up. And a few of them put a hand on like a weapon because they all have weapons. They have knives. They have blasters. They have blaster rifles. They have staffs that like they are like just using as like walking sticks. But when they see you, they hold them and then they flip a switch and then like a lightsaber thing comes out one end. They're not attacking you. They're not being aggressive, but they see you and they respond in a way that makes them think that perhaps you don't mean them well. So,
I'd stop and raise a hand and say, "We are here to help. Has anyone been bitten by a fly?"
they look around, they look at each other, and they go, who here has linguists?
I do.
Okay, Captain Harrow's.
Of course.
Okay, nobody else is. It's all like blah 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 to everybody else. Captain Harrow's and Dr. Anna, you're like, oh wow, okay, so let's listen. You start like listening intently.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, what, and you start putting together things like what would be the common parts of a sentence? What would they be saying? And you're trying to identify phonemes. It's a whole linguist thing. And after a bit, a person comes out, and I will share a picture with you. This person comes out,
Okay.
looks at you guys, and says something. And like looks at you, like maybe you understand that, and you don't.
I have also have perfect recall, so I will be able to use my linguist skills faster than most people because I can pull.
Makes sense to me. Make a reason plus 2d6 roll.
Reason plus 2d6. Please.
You need an 11.
Oh well, I'm not making that. I only rolled a 9.
Okay. Well, it takes a little while, but fast forwarding a little bit, oh man, hang on. There you go. Sorry, I didn't realize I was changing what you saw. So, there's some back and forth for a bit, and Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna and this person that you're looking at, you go back and forth, and eventually get to the point where you kind of have a handle on what they're saying, and it's, who are you, and why are you here?
Yes, which is what we would expect them to say. Yes.
There has
About-
been an infection. We are here to help those who were bitten.
The person you're looking at, their left eye is a big cyborg red eyepiece that kind of like hugs half of their skull.
Okay.
Just so you know.
They are definitely cyborgs. The cyborgs were in the
They're.
past.
Oh, everybody. Reason plus 2d6. Everyone.
At least
Hang on.
Lowest I could
Hang on,
possibly
I'll tell you what
roll.
you need.
A 3.
You need a 12.
Yes.
I missed it by 1. I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 12.
14.
Only a 10.
Oh, so Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna. Oh, who are the ones who are doing the most interactive stuff? Which I guess that makes sense. Everybody else, the rest of you are just like, holy shit, these are like a whole bunch of robotic orcs. They're just gonna totally kill us now, aren't they? So, but Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna, as you're looking, you realize that the robotic legs and the robotic arms and things, they don't work. Like the people who have robotic legs, they have crutches. The person who has robotic arm, the robotic arm is just like hanging in there. The arm they use is the non-robotic arm. So you're getting the impression that their cyborg parts don't actually work.
Captain, you've got a lot of potential work in front of you.
Yeah.
They're scary looking. They're god-awful 9-foot tall orcs with robotic parts. But Captain Harrows and Anna realized that the robotic parts are not functional.
I bet you
So-
Captain Harrows can make them functional.
Yes.
The
question is, does
orc
Captain
who's talking to you,
want
it's
to
like-
make them function?
My name is Rikosh.
We will.
Gosh. Harrows.
Gosh, my name is Atalanta.
Harrows. Atalanta. Hakash is matriarch of this clan. You had no idea this is a woman until she just said so.
Okay.
Like, not a clue. They look identical to you, man, woman. Maybe they're all women. You don't know. But Hakash is a woman. She just said so. Why are you here? Do you need help?
No, we are here to help.
We don't need help. We are strong.
We
There-
can see.
There were flies infecting animals and people. We have killed the infection, but we need to make sure that none escaped.
The infected animals that lie to your eyes.
Yeah.
We've seen them.
We hope that we have killed them. We are looking for any that they have bitten.
You've killed the source?
Yes.
I point to Isco. My friend here burned it through.
She looks at Isco and she says, "I'm a ha!" Like that. It's like, is it true? Have you killed the source?
She asks if you really killed the source of the fungus.
Got him.
Yes, he just said he did.
Then we owe you a debt. And she bows, and when she bows, like 80 other orcs all bow.
Mhm.
Are any of your people infected?
No, those who were infected have been removed. There was no other choice.
We
It
understand.
is a sad thing, but it was necessary.
You know of the settlement by the river
The humans,
on the forest edge, yes.
yes. We contacted them, or attempted to contact them, but they did not want to be friends. It's a complicated expression in Orcish. Everybody else hears like that. And it ends with kind of like a eh.
I tell her weak minds respond with fear and anger when the unknown approaches.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But your kind are an endangered species. We would never harm you.
Yet, unfortunately, they are now blaming you for stealing the livestock. We will attempt to correct their
She
Uh,
she like puts up a hand that is the size of like it's like this big. It's like have any of you preyed upon the human's livestock? And they all go, what? No. Why would you? No, no, no,
We
no,
know we did.
no, matriarch. We would never do such a thing.
Ah.
And
We
she
know
turns
we
to you
did
and
it.
says, we have not preyed upon their livestock. We would never do such a thing.
Wait a
We
minute.
did not think-
You said there weren't any footprints leaving that the other town, right? Human town.
just the one trail of the human who ran away.
There
yeah,
was
the one who went to the fungus.
there
All
was
that took their livestock was the flies.
there was
Yeah.
right. The creatures that attacked livestock, you are
We just
pretty
killed
certain
them.
now were the horseflies.
With the horseflies.
There
okay.
was
Yeah.
one set of tracks from the McGregor stead to the river that ended, and you
Right.
think that the fungus monster that you killed is that guy.
Okay, so yeah,
They feared the cyborg, so they assumed that the cyborgs had done the attack.
right. Okay.
And then it-
the hallucination.
A hallucination. Yeah.
Hallucinations, yeah. So yeah, turn back to the matriarch. We believe that the hallucinogenic effects of the infected animals cause them to see your people instead of the horseflies. We've already figured out that was the case.
Convincing them of this may be a difficult task.
She turns to like one of the other orcs who has like 90% cyborg parts, so he's like crutches and he's barely moving around. She asks, "Does that seem reasonable?" And he goes, "Based on the available data, matriarch, I would think that's a reasonable conclusion." And she turns to you and says, "Well, it would appear you've come to the crux of the issue. Of course, everybody else other than Dr. Anna and Captain Harris here's it's my pleasure. Ha ha poof. Margaritas. Ka. So it sounds a lot more aggressive than it is.
Of course, it's like speaking German.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any?
The German word for those beautiful red flowers that pop with their yellow centers really sounds like a barroom insult.
Throat is
We
actually
would
the
like
way
to be
German would
friends with the humans. We would like to encourage them to grow and thrive, because we know that in the world that we are from, this is an important point. Are you aware that the world on which you stand is not the world that you came from?
Oh yes, indeed.
Yes, I have experienced many dimensional rifts and
We've
temporal
met-
displacements.
Yes, we've met several peoples now who have come from other dimensions,
Ow.
worlds,
Yes, other times and other realities.
and other cats.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's getting feisty now. I think I gotta let her down. Usually she's really good about
Kitty, kitty. Hello, kitty.
too much
Hmm.
emulation.
We have determined that time and place are disrupted here. This is not where we thought we were, and it is no place that we are familiar with. So, that being said,
I
would.
believe your wisdom and ours are in agreement.
This is good. The humans in the settlement, we've stayed away from them because they are clearly afraid of us. We don't know why, but fear is fear. So it
Yes.
seems
For one
considerate to stay away.
For one thing, you're 2.5 meters tall.
They
For
are
another
tiny and very weak. This is true.
And for another thing, some idiot pencil pushers sent him here without weapons.
Which is
Well, that
probably
is
a good
just
thing in this case.
incomprehensible.
They probably would have used them.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a good thing they'd have tried to attack you. I'm sure by now.
Well,
So
had they done that, we would
Yeah.
have slaughtered them.
Exactly.
yes, which
They
is
have no
why
weapons. They're not going to attack.
And at this point,
Oh.
you realize every single one of them is festooned with weapons.
oh,
They have knives. They have swords. They have
I
blaster
only just
rifles. They have
noticed that.
swords. They have knives. They have pistols. They have swords. It's like on their arms, there are daggers. They are festooned with weapons. It's like,
I
well,
would
had they
know-
attacked us, we would have slaughtered them.
Yes, I would have noticed that the moment I spotted them. That's
Absolutely.
Atalanta does.
Well, they have no weapons, so
I
they
think
wouldn't
you
attack.
described it because everybody pulled out something.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but they're humans. They're weak and they're small and they're endangered. Where we are from, which is not this place, the only humans exist in zoos.
Interesting.
So we mean them no harm. If you have some influence with them, perhaps you can let them know that we mean them no harm, and there may be a way that we could trade. We did notice when we visited that they have livestock, which is something that we lack. We are originally a scouting troop, and she mentioned some like complicated mathematical formula that you think relates to a part of a huge army.
Ah.
And we were supposed to land at our destination and reconnoiter. We landed here instead and are now isolated from our people. We estimate 10 years ago, but time passes strangely here.
Yes.
This is an all too familiar tale.
Mm. Unfortunately, their livestock took a major hit with the defection, but hopefully in the next couple of years they'll probably be able to get back up to trade to the point where they'll be able to trade again. We will do our best to, we actually have found other settlements further away, and we're planning to try to help create a trade route between all the settlements of all
Okay.
whoever is of interest.
Well, so far they've all been humans up until now.
Yes.
I have to say this is a charmingly different experience.
Don't forget the woke people.
Yeah. Nano people. I count them as a group.
The
Yeah,
reaction
one.
the reaction you get is one of despair. It's like, no. All humans? All?
Very small groups. Very small
So
groups.
far,
Are there
Very
no
group.
other of the people that you have seen?
Not yet.
We have only come a few days travel so far.
Yes, we do intend to keep searching,
There is this place is quite large.
and quite sparsely populated.
We have deliberately stayed closely packed so to defend the clan.
Good idea.
That is wise.
If you would be willing to bring back news, if you find others of the people, that would be, we'd be very grateful.
Yes, of course.
Of course, everybody else hears this as "Hurrah! Babatushka!" like that kind of thing. But I mean, we were playing that. I mean, you get that, right?
No, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Okay.
No.
I just want to enforce everybody other than Dr. Anna and Captain Harrows are hearing like, I'm gonna kill you and eat your
Oh,
eyeballs.
we're making the same noises too.
They're just hearing another language. I mean, to me, it's just another language. It's not necessarily they're going to kill me.
Right then. Well, we have things we can offer to you. We have the local wildlife has provided a tremendous amount of resources for things like medicine and clothing, and to some degree, other things. So we can offer some things in return.
Ask Dr. Anna or the captain if they could ask one of the orcs if we can help them with their cybernetics.
Oh, that was my next. That was my next offer. Is like, well, in while we're still initially setting up the
Well,
trip.
yeah, even
Wait, Donald. Let
Okay.
Kieran finish. Let
Okay.
Kieran finish.
While we're still setting up the trade route, we also can offer other things besides items for trade, possibly services such as repair and you know, since we have noticed that you do have some everybody seems to have cybernetics as a parts. Do you need help with servicing those?
We are strong. We do not need help.
As a
Yeah,
But-
as a trade.
But if you have power supplies, that would be of assistance. We would appreciate that. Our power supplies ran out 2 years after we arrived at this place.
Okay.
And there are no rare earth materials here to fabricate more.
and you can't just generate into a storage battery or like use solar to power it.
Rails. Oh, it might be that the batteries wore out just like they do on ours.
Yeah, we don't have the materials to do that.
Out of character, Donald, you took 2 power sources. Can you spare one? 3. Can you spare one?
Well, it's all the way back at the thing. I'm trying to figure this out if we can do this with it. But yeah. First off, that's 1 power source, and
they're going to need
many people, so that's not going to work.
However,
Figure out how.
the humans back at the settlement there have a surplus of power. You just have to find a way to convert one into the
Right?
other.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out how can we pipe power into their stuff.
Ask to see one of their cybernetic limbs. Like get them an
power
inspect.
supplies. We ask them for a power supply. That
Yeah.
one.
Ask them for a used up power supply.
And then the guy she talked to about, like, is that basically her number 2?
Yeah.
He's like,
I
oh,
assume
well,
it's your patriarch.
so we need to provide them with like a sample so they can see if their technology is compatible. And she's like, that appears to be the case. And he's like, well, it's not doing me any good. He goes, crunk, and he pulls off his arm and he hands it to her. And she hands it to Dr. Anna. Will this help you?
It
I've got to go to bed, so I have to call it night.
All right.
All right.
Give me like a minute more.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hands arm to Dr. Anna. I really thought we'd get to the hag of Cragkeepa now, but I guess not. So
You're easily distracted by shiny objects, Brendan.
very big shiny.
things keep happening. So hands arm to Dr. Anna, and it's like 4 feet long. It's like, will this help you?
Yes, this will definitely help with it, making sure that we can be able to do trade with you. We'd be happy
Yeah,
to.
I'm taking a look at it and seeing how the power flows and how we can supply power to this.
I can
Okay.
help out electronics.
Even if we have to get the humans of Northwoods to supply their battery packs and do an adapter kind of thing, and everybody's got to wear a backpack to make their cybernetics run.
Here's what you figure out, and it doesn't take long, and you don't need to roll.
Okay.
Looking at their power supply requirements. If you get a couple of, let's say, 1 wind turbine and 1 solar panel from Northwoods Rest,
Mm-hmm.
you can hook up something and jury rig it so that people can recharge, or people, I mean the orcs. You can set it up so they can recharge themselves for like a week in about a half hour. So you have, if you get the cooperation of the people from Northwoods Rest to give up like a wind turbine and a solar panel, then yeah, you can get these orcs up and running on their cybernetics in a couple of days.
The people of the town owe us. I think we just killed their problem.
Yeah.
They also hate these
They
orc.
owe us.
They think they hate these orc things, so that'll be a barrier.
Yeah, so I guess we gotta go back and figure out what we can get from them. I think I can make this work.
Yeah, it's like if we can only just say we want that for payment.
So yeah, the rest is just diplomacy. We just have to convince them that these aren't their enemy.
Yes, and if not,
Again,
then
who the hell wants a whole bunch of cybernetic orcs as their enemy?
it's like it's like oh man, it's like if we made it clear that hey, they're on your side and they'd love to trade with you. If you can, and
What would you offer them as a gift?
A gift.
A
gift of goodwill.
a show of goodwill.
No, we understand you. I'm just trying to think. What would these little humans want?
Hmm.
Weapons.
No, they're lying.
No, we
I think
can
we
give
should
them what
stop.
we have more than enough weapons for our own use. Would they like some?
That would probably help them out.
Probably, but knowing human nature, I'm not sure that is the best idea. Quite.
I would rather offer them.
If they cannot be trusted with weapons, then they cannot be trusted. She says that very firmly, like that's like an article of belief.
Honestly, I think it's more along the lines they wouldn't know how to use them
We can
safely.
teach them.
Anyways. It would probably be more better to offer.
She
services.
gestures over to an orc that has like a big cyborg arm, but everything else is like natural. She goes, "You, Arpaka! Will you go to the humans and teach them how to use our weapons?" And he says, "Yes, matriarch." She's like, "Oh, problem solved."
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to consolidate these two encampments here.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess it's time for diplomacy.
Mm-hmm.
We will not leave ourselves undefended, but I would think we can come up with I don't know what. Quickly, let me think. Now, I may adjust this number later.
Of course.
300 sidearms, 200 long-range weapons, and say 450 melee weapons.
Well, it sounds like you have an excellent amount to negotiate with.
How about
And well, instruct them, the humans, in their use.
how about 2 of each for now that we can present to them?
Wait,
With
2
with
per
the-
human?
No. 2 total.
Two total of each of those.
Just 2.
Yes, and we will present.
Why would they want just 2?
This is just an
They
initial.
will want more. They will want more. We present them with 2. That is theirs to keep. The trade is their energy manufacturing, their solar panels to recharge your cybernetics in exchange for those weapons that you have named.
Are you trying to cheat the humans?
Absolutely not. But we have to be able to.
No, I'm trying to keep them from their
We're trying to prove goodwill.
Oh, gradual. This is a gradual. Oh, I understand. My apologies. I am not a diplomat. I'm an orchestrator. I understand. This is a gradual introduction of technology to the primitive peoples.
Yes.
I understand.
Too much and they will just go wild and hurt themselves.
Your wisdom is valid. So 2 of each. 2 personal weapons, 2 long-range weapons, 2 close combat weapons. And should we also send to instruct in their use?
I think perhaps that should be a good bargaining chip to bring them around should they be difficult.
They can recharge him while he's there.
Yes, that's an excellent idea.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
maybe
We
your
can-
arm can work again. He's like, I would like my arm to work again.
Yeah,
So,
I can,
right.
and I can develop the interface so that once it goes back, it's
I think this is a good agreement. I will agree to this. And
Excellent.
she holds out a enormous green hand toward.
I-
At this
I-
point, I guess it's Dr. Anna. Okay. So,
she's got strength though. Yeah, she just happily, willingly just goes ahead and
Hey.
does it.
you are very small and pink, but you speak with the language of a warrior. I respect that. And you as well, she says to Dr. Anna. I mean, to Captain Harrows.
It is an honor to speak to another to speak to another warrior equally.
So if we
Right
finish
then.
clearing our throats at one another, then.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, so if we finish clearing our throats at one another, then.
Arrgh. Okay. All right. So we're cool here. You've made a deal between the orcs and Northwood's Rest, and then we can stop. Everybody questions before you end?
yeah. Last thing I want to do as we're finalizing the deal
Yeah.
is that the lightsaber staff that dude had.
Well, it hasn't been made yet. We're still working on it.
I want no, dude already had one. One of the cyborgs already had one. Brandon described it when we were walking up.
Sure. Why not?
One of them pulled out his staff and it went.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh, there are several lightsaber type weapons in the crowd. There's a guy who has like a fist weapon that goes jing 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 like Wolverine's claws, but it's lightsabers.
Hey,
So they
Michael,
have that technology.
Okay, I am looking for exactly what Michael has been asking me to build.
Hey, that guy. I need that. I need that thing you've got.
I need one of those.
Yeah, and I want one of those additional thrown in to present to Michael.
Not a problem. I was actually anticipating something more DIY, but
Okay.
sure. Oh wait, he's got one over there. Yeah, that the guy with the big thing on his head. That guy.
Yeah, no, this is something that she can take apart and make one of her own.
Sure, why not? Okay, so you get the bits and pieces for Michael to have a lightsaber double-ended thingy, and you're gonna buy Strike, right, Leslie?
What's that?
Strike.
Yeah,
power.
That's with the next bunch of the next point.
Yeah, no,
Outstanding.
you've got
It costs 1 point.
Okay, cool.
All right.
you on your power and you've got one left. So is that what
Well,
you're
one left is to have the weapon. We're gonna hopefully
No,
make an
no.
experience.
This is that point.
Yeah, you
Oh,
buy
okay.
the power strike and that is the weapon.
Okay.
That's
Good.
how when you
Cool.
use the weapon you're using your strike power.
Right.
Okay, cool.
You sure? You got it?
hmm
Okay. Any questions before we close?
No.
Lloyd, you good?
I'm good.
Caught up with the whole House of the Dragon nanobot swarm
That
life
still kind of
thing.
that still kind of creeps me out a little, but yeah, I'm just going to go with it for the moment.
Energy vampires. What do you expect?
That's what
Time
you keep saying.
vampires. It is I'm sure it is a quantum energy generation system that eats time.
hmm
You just keep telling yourself that, man.
That's what I'm saying. just whatever
It's the only
makes you
way
sleep
they
at
make-
night.
It's the only way
Hey, I'm not adverse to energy vampires. They ask nicely. They didn't
Oh,
force-
it's totally voluntary.
yeah.
He does. They don't. Well, that would be impolite. Completely voluntary. You have to sign the book.
Yeah. So hey, they asked. We could have said
And the
no.
food is good, and the drink is good, and
Yeah.
as Isco can tell you, the companionship is good. So,
And we're comfortable. I have nothing to complain about.
all right, left to right. Last comments. Isco, any comments, questions?
So I saw a bunch of talking, and I'll mention as we depart that if y'all need help with this whole talkie diplomacy stuff, I'm your man. I can help. So in game terms, diplomacy expertise.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
I've got diplomacy, but not the expertise.
I have diplomacy without expertise.
And Isco is already a hero because he's the one who burned out the fungus.
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
So I think maybe Dr. Anna and Captain Harris should coach him on some basic super mutant, on some basic orcish.
Oh, I thought you were talking in Welsh Gaelic.
Why don't you teach us all? I
Oh,
mean,
so that's a question.
great
I'm
with these
trying to
people.
figure out how to make it work, Brandon, is with ultra power, something that would allow me to translate that to linguist while concentrating on it. Some way to do that using, it would have to be fire. I don't know how, but I'm thinking about that.
I don't think that would work.
Okay.
However,
Might work better with my
this
power.
is a suitable point to point this out. This, at the end of this particular, okay, how am I going to put this? Everyone gets 1 experience point.
Okay.
So, if you want a point to spend on something, this is the time when you get that point to spend on something. I don't think you can really do linguist with Isco's ultra power, though. That doesn't really seem to me.
It would work with mine because
I don't really want to buy linguist. Everybody's got linguist. I want to find some other way.
But I'm gonna buy expertise for my mental combat.
Ooh.
How many experience do we have now?
Oh,
4.
4.
Okay.
Now? Is it 4 now?
It
Yeah.
is now up to 4.
Okay, it's 4 now.
All right, I got
So,
to go
If Isco wanted to buy a linguist, he totally could.
Isn't it 1 point?
You don't have to.
I definitely have to go to bed. So.
All right.
Night, Leslie.
All right. I'm going to wrap up. Here we go. I'm sorry. We're going to wrap up now.
we'll
So,
talk about it later.
oh, wrong one. Haha! This has been Pirates of the Mesozoic, which should have ended like 10 minutes ago. Craig Smith, Donald Vaughn Griffin, Karen Torres, Leslie Denneberger, who needs to go to sleep right now. Lloyd Montgomery, welcome back. Brandon Blackmore, which is me. Sometimes orcs just want to get along. It's true. It's true.
Sometimes
Everybody
it's
have a good night.
the focus.
Thanks for coming. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Have a